thieves. Uh, Naturally, they have a lot of skills to help them, of course, with sneaking around and stealing loot and such, right? Um, because you're new, we're just gonna give you a preset character, which pretty much means that it has all the equipment you'll need. You won't really need to make many decisions on creating your character early on, which is good for you, so you're not confused and it won't take too long. Basically, you have everything you need to do your job. Here's I'm gonna post the character sheet. It's right here. So this is your thief. Everything else is randomly generated. His hit points, his ability scores. Hit points represent how hard it is for your thief to die in combat. And typically, thieves only have 1 to 4 hit points at level 1. So we're gonna see how many yours has. Alright, yours has 3 hit points. The possibilities was 1, 2, 3, and 4. You got 3, which is pretty good. Next, we're going to determine your ability scores real quick. These are a reflection of how capable your character is at adventuring. Alright, so first is your strength. Okay, so you've got 10 strength. Now I'm just gonna roll for now, but in the future you can use your own dice. You can use the dice spot. Many options, but just to make this quick, this is all randomly generated. 13 intelligence. Your dexterity is 8. Oh no, that's your wisdom. Your dexterity is 15. And that's good because you're a thief. You need high dexterity. Constitution is 10. And charisma 16. Alright, so perfect scores for a thief. You're smart, you're fast, and you're charming. That's all randomly generated. This is your starting equipment. Naturally, you have no money yet. You just started. So the idea is that you've left your old life behind. You've taken on the life of an adventuring thief now. So you're going to go out to use your skills in thievery to help hunt monsters and treasures, typically in dungeons, right? You've got a helmet, you've got a dagger on your belt in a sheath. You're carrying a 10-foot pole around to help detect traps. You've got a knapsack. You've got lockpicks in there. 50-foot rope coiled around your shoulder and your body. You've got a set of clothing, which consists of a tunic, belt, brace, and a pair of shoes. That's everything. The last step you'll need, or the last thing you'll need to choose, is a name. And optionally, you can also choose a goal for your character. Is there anything he wants to spend his money on if you were to get money or if you were to get fame, right? Does he have any particular goals aside from money, right? Long-term goals or anything like that? You don't have to, but let's see.
You know what? We're gonna. Okay, I'm gonna have this theory. So I want to call him Theo.
Theo? Okay. Your character's name is Theo.
And he just wants to get rich at any means necessary.
Okay. Right. You have a job to do. Soon, like I mentioned, you'll be joining a party of adventurers and you'll be going on an adventure, of course. A dangerous journey. Lots of risk. And hopefully, lots of rewards.
Alrighty.
Alright, so you're ready to go. That's for Egg. Next, we're gonna get Ming ready. So Ming is a returning player. He already has a character, so we're just gonna go grab his character sheet. It's in the characters channel.
Cool.
Okay, these are your notes here. And before we start, you're back in town, of course. You can make some purchases. Do you need to prepare your character?
Yes, I would like to purchase a bow, preferably a long bow, but if I can just afford a short bow, that's great, and some arrows.
Sure. A longbow, a quiver, and some arrows. Total price is 6 coppers.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I think I've got enough. I think I've got 17.
Yeah. Would you be interested in anything else?
Probably some rations, depending on where we're going.
Yep.
Yeah, so some rations. If we've got torches, then I think we're set, and I think I've got a tinder box. So I think it's just torches and a tinder box, and rope. If nobody has rope, I wouldn't mind buying some rope.
All right, you've got a 50-foot rope already.
Okay, awesome. That's
Oh
great.
wait, no wait. That's
I think.
Theo. He has a 50-foot rope. You don't. Okay, so you want a 50-foot rope and
Okay.
you want some rations. Every ration is 2
Yeah.
coppers. You only have 11, and you need 3. One ration feeds you for 1 meal, so typically you eat 3 rations a day.
Okay.
How many rations do you want to buy?
I'll probably buy 2.
See? Okay. And 1 rope, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Total price came to 5 coppers. You're down to 6. Alright. Anything else you wish to purchase?
No. Have I got the arrows and quiver?
Yes, you do.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. I'm good.
Alright. And then, welcome back, Slugger. Let me see if Sunny's around.
Thought he survived, but memory's a little fuzzy.
Yep, he is. It's just been a while. Alright, here's your first level elf character. Let's see. You've got a single copper piece. Do you wish to make any purchases before we start?
What's I have 5 on my crossbow, I guess.
Yep, 5 shots.
How much are the quarrels?
5 corals is 1 copper.
Yeah, go ahead and get 5 extra on that. Or spend my 1 copper for. There we go. I think that'll do it.
Alright, awesome. We're just about ready to start. Just gonna fix Egg's name. He is no longer just Egg, he is Egg Theo. First level thief. Alright, we can start now. Let's see. So, for those who are not familiar with how the game starts typically, how to play the game. The Dungeon Master will start off by describing to you the situation you're all in, and every player will have a chance to choose an action for their character. Sometimes you might want to discuss your plans before you take an action. And after that, we'll roll the dice to determine the results, which will be described as the sequence of play starts again, right? So, to start off, I'll give you some background information, and then I'll set the scene, right? Yeah, party of adventurers have gathered in a small medieval settlement, a town called Down. Some of you have recently arrived here. You've made the journey across the waters into the northeastern region of the lands. You might be from the south, you might be from the west, but you've recently arrived on the shores of Down and have made your way into this frontier settlement, a town, because you've heard of good promises for gold and glory. Many adventurers have been gathering here at Down, hoping to, of course, provide their services and gain a bunch of gold and glory, right? Recently, a crew of adventurers, including Fundo, he's part of that crew that came in last adventure yesterday, they had paid a visit to a local ruin, a temple ruin to the southeast in the swamps, and made a discovery that some of the entrances have been opened. The swamp tomb out there was actually, or this temple, was sealed off. A great evil was sealed within, but recently people have begun exploring it, and they're not sure who decided to reopen it. But great evil is spawning from it, and they have gone in to begin exploration of it, and perhaps to fight off the approaching evils that are starting to exit or make their way out from the ruins. Okay, there's gold to be won there as well, lost and forgotten treasures, and of course bounties placed on the undead that are rumored to be approaching from the swamps, right? They have climbed their way out from the ruins depths, and they're spreading across the lands, right, like a plague. So the towns of Down and various settlements are offering bounties for any proof and evidence that you have destroyed some of these evil monsters, right? Otherwise, there's many things else that you can try to do to make your party successful and get gold and glory. Down is, of course, a frontier town and has plenty of work opportunities for you. Looking for dangerous work out there, though, adventurers are also visiting local caverns to the east, the forest, or to the north in the grasslands, to local caverns, right, with various resources that you might find, including monsters and treasures. Nearby settlements include the mining settlement of Istan and the farming settlement of Dog. Alright, so with that in background information, I'll now set the scene. It's morning, and your party of three find themselves scattered at the tavern, right, for our final plans. So looking over their maps and plans and such, and finalizing what they want to actually do to get their gold this day, right? It's 8 o'clock in the morning, and you have to get to work soon, right? So, without further ado, you guys may discuss openly, and then when you're ready, you can make a decision on what you want to do.
Yes, well, lads, I think that the ruins to the south, which I visited with two other companions, may be a little bit of a stretch for a party such as us right now. I say this because we narrowly escaped a slaughtering by 6 undead. If we didn't have a cleric, might not have turned out so good. So, just some food for thought. I suggest we apply our trade somewhere less lethal.
What would that want to be?
Yeah, we should look for some easy work.
Okay.
Alright.
Is there any local town quests that are needing small help?
Yep, you're in Down. This town has plenty of work to offer. But the type of work depends on where you choose to search for any jobs. You have heard of recent jobs available in Down in particular if you're looking to work for the town. They have recently had reports of outlaws on the trail. Some, adventuring types have turned to banditry and have begun exploiting the trade routes, right, between the various settlements. So, they have actually placed a bounty on the heads of various outlaws scattered along the road, right? If you're interested in doing that. But more in particular, merchants are actually hiring caravan guards. So if you want to work for for the town itself, the market, the merchants in the market, the caravans particularly, will be hiring guards if you want to help protect the caravan on its journey between the various settlements, right? You can try that. Otherwise, you can look for different jobs, right? Those are just commonly known jobs in Down. And of course, if you want, you can self-employ and venture off into the wilderness and try your own luck at various adventure locations, such as these various caverns, right? North and east. As you continue thinking, that was fun though, right? Sunny and Theo, do you have any ideas of what you want to do for this adventure?
Bounty board nearby that I could look at?
Sure, yeah. So, you ask around for bounties, you look around for boards, pamphlets, and such at the tavern, and it's not hard to find it. So as Theo goes off to look at these various job offerings and perhaps flyers and such and possible employment, Sunny, what would you be doing? Because Fundo's looking over his plans and job offerings, right, notes and such at the table. What is Sunny going to be doing?
Sorry, I'll follow behind and check the bounty board.
Okay. Alright. You're in a small medieval tavern, right? It's a food and drink establishment, or like a bar, right? You look around for any boards or notices, and you can see, of course, clearly near the entry, hanging on one of the pillars that support, or one of these beams that support the height of the tavern or the ceiling above you. There's a few flyers posted. One of it is like a bounty on the outlaw, and it's particularly a bandit lord, right, or a robber knight. Okay, and his if you were to kill him, right, so men associated with him are not clearly have a bounty, but he has the largest bounty because he is the leader of this group of brigands or bandits who have been raiding across the roads, right? He's one of the supposed known leaders among them, right? His name is let's see, Ronan. So if you're interested, you can find Ronan right somewhere along the road. He leads the bandits. Okay, and this bounty, by the way, is his worth at the moment. He is worth 200 coppers. That's his bounty, right? He's worth 200 coppers. It's a pretty good bounty so far, right? It's equivalent to roughly, it's going to roughly 2,000 US dollars, right, for one man's head. So, if you can kill him, every crew member of his is worth maybe, maybe 20 coppers, right? But he's worth 200 coppers, so he's worth 10 times as much as his own men. 10 to 20. His men are worth 10 to 20 coppers each, depending on who you manage to kill.
GM, I've got a question. If what do they look like? How do we know that it's the right guy? Do we have a description?
Yeah, so you're not looking at the flyers. That's Theo right now. It's his turn right now. But on your turn, you can have a look. Remember, you're at the table planning. You're looking over the options of visiting merchants and looking for jobs in town, right? So.
Okay, cool.
You're not with him. He left you, right? So Theo and Sonny are together. They're looking over these pamphlets, and that's the first one they see, right? It's the bounty place and the bandits. There's another one, but if you won't look at it unless you choose to keep looking. So it's Theo's turn again right now, right? I just gave you the results of your last action, right? Theo, your action was to job search. I showed you a job you found. You can keep searching for jobs. You can act on the job that you found, or you can do something else. What would be your next action?
Me and Sunny are in the same place, right?
Yep, you're with him.
Well, I would like to grab the flyer and turn it over to Sunny and say, maybe we should take this to Fumto and see what he thinks about it.
All right.
That sounds like a good idea.
So we'll do Sunny's turn since you guys are kind of together. Sunny, you of course went with Theo to look over the pamphlets. You see, of course, there's a wanted poster on the pillar, right, showing the face of a man drawn on it. Robber Knight is just his, particularly his helmet. So he is known to be a fighter, right? He's a traitorous or treacherous knight who's been leading these outlaws across the land to raid and pillage on the road. He's worth 200 coppers, right? So just now, Theo has taken the flyer and has offered the idea that you and him should go show Fando this. Do you wish to proceed and follow after Theo, or do you want to try something differently for your turn?
I'll proceed with the bandit flyer.
Okay. Alright, and then back to Fando. Fando, your companions have gone off to go look at the various job offerings hanging on the walls and pillars and such in this tavern. You were in the middle of planning. You had some time to think. Do you want to keep thinking about various job offerings or information that your crew has? Or do you want to try something else? And you can see and notice that you and Sunny are returning to your table with one of the job offerings.
Well, then, if I see that in hand, I'll wait their arrival and have a look at the flyer.
Okay, yeah, so let's say you're all one group again, right? Theo, Sunny, you made your way to Fando. Theo, as you approach Fando, do you want to say anything to him or do anything? Besides show him the flyer?
Yeah, what do we have here?
I hand Fumto the flyer and suggest that we go kill the leader of the bandits.
200 coppers. That's more than fair. Let's do it. Where do you suppose we begin?
I suggest we can scavenge the routes to see if we can find him there.
Let's do that. I wonder if anybody around here would have any information. Can we like just take a look around the cabin? Oh, cabin. Sorry, to try and see if there's anybody kind of dodgy looking. Maybe. I know you should judge a book, but you know, just to see if maybe somebody knows something about these bandits and how they may, strike.
Okay,
We
so
can also
go ahead.
we could also talk to the merchants and see when their next trade route is, and if we can join their group to not stage a robbery, but if they attack, they'll come that way.
So use them as bait. Good idea.
I also like that idea.
Alright, so you've had a moment to discuss, right, and plan before you decided to take action. When it comes to taking action, of course, we're gonna start with Theo. Just a turn order, right? So Theo's first action. So your party just finished as a group planning again after they went over the various job offerings and ideas that they all had. You notice that Fundo might be looking around for someone at the moment. Sunny is offering ideas still. Maybe he's gonna try something else. Do you want to wait on your crew, or do you want to take another action or something?
I'll just wait.
Okay. Alright, and then Fundo, do you want to proceed with the action that you had in mind after your discussion, which was, of course, to scan the tavern for any shady figures?
No, I think I prefer the idea of looking for the merchant,
Okay.
and using them as bait.
Alright, and then Sunny, it appears that Theo's kind of on board. Fundo's definitely on board, right? You're the one who offered the idea of perhaps offering your services to a group of merchants, and that way you might have a higher chance of encountering the bandits, right? So, with that, do you want to perhaps discuss the idea further, or lead them into the market and find a merchant to escort, or something else?
I'll say we split up and find the most recent merchant that is about to move out, and we can offer them our services of protection, or we can just follow them stealthily and wait for them to be attacked.
Alright.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
So back to Theo. It's your turn again. You were waiting on your crew. Fundo was agreeing with Sunny, and Sunny was providing new suggestions that your crew should split up and perhaps go around finding a merchant to join forces with, right, or to be hired by. Do you want to add your own input on what he has to say? Do you want to take action, or something else?
I agree with Sunny being to find a merchant that may know the whereabouts of Ronan.
Right, so you're
Or
agreeing with
to
him.
Follow the. Yeah.
Okay. So you have agreed with him. That's clear. That's been, of course, confirmed. However, moments ago, he just actually suggested that the crew should take action, and his suggestion to the course of action the crew should take is to split up and look for a merchant to escort or protect. Do you want to take on this idea and head out to the tavern and begin looking for a merchant on your own, or do you want to try something else?
Yeah, I'll go look for a merchant on my own to see. And I'll just do that. I'll just go out, look for a merchant on my own to figure out whatever.
Okay, sure. And Fundo, you had been agreeing with Sunny, Sonny has heard that you and Theo have agreed with him and provided suggestions on your next course of action. Do you want to go with his suggestions, or do you want to try something else?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so on your own, you're setting out to go find a merchant, right? And then Sonny, you had previously suggested the crew split up and look for merchants, right? Do you want to follow through with your own suggestions, or do you want to try something else?
Yes, I'll follow through and split up and go a separate way and try to find a merchant that is loading a cargo or seems to be about to be moving and approach them.
Sounds good. Back to Theo, it's your turn again. So you just left the tavern. You're out in the streets with your crew and you're all about to split up. There's many places you might go in a medieval town to find a merchant naturally. You could wander the streets, you could visit the market, maybe at the entrance of the town you might find one. And of course, if you don't like any of the ideas I suggested, you can come up with your own idea. And if you can want, you can ask if that's available, and I'll let you know if it is. Right. So various ideas or options where you might find a merchant. But is there any particular area you want to go to find your merchant, or something else?
I'd like to go to the gates and see if there's not one coming in or they're exiting from the town.
Alright, sounds good. Yeah, so you're making your way through the streets at this moment, headed toward one of the town gates. As you do this, Famdo, you can already see the crew starting to break off and begin their search for a merchant, right? Maybe you guys will regroup here back at the tavern when you're ready. There's no cell phone, so make sure you guys have a plan on how to regroup, right, when you split your crew.
So as I see them leaving, I holler to them, lads. If we're leaving, when do we get together again? Say half an hour at best, or worst.
The time is currently 8:20 by the time you guys left the tavern, by the way. 08:20 hours.
Yeah.
Alright, so half an hour is what he suggests. Theo, quickly and Sunny, you can react to that. Do you guys agree, or do you guys want to suggest something else? You can react to his.
I'm just gonna nod my head as I'm continuing walking.
Sounds good. And how about you, Sunny? Do you want to react?
Big thumbs up.
Sounds good. And then Fando in particular, where would you want to go to find your merchant?
Is there a market?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, then I would like to go to the market.
Okay, and Sunny, for your turn, as your crew is departing, as you guys confirm plans, you notice Theo's headed toward the gate, Fando's headed toward the markets. Where would you like to go find the merchant?
Is there a barracks in Dillon?
A barracks?
Barracks, yes.
Oh, okay. So maybe the guardhouse, yeah. Right. We're gonna go back to Theo now. So, Theo, you've made your way through the streets of the town, and you've made it toward the gate. On your way to the gate, we're gonna see if you had any encounters, any events. So actually, you've traveled through the town streets, all about our townsmen, townsfolk and such, who have recently begun their day's work naturally. It is early in the morning, various folks about. Nothing has stopped you on your way to the gate, so you're at the gate now. Particularly, you're at the eastern gate. It leads to the main road and out of down onto, of course, the main road and across the rivers. Here at the main gate, it's very busy, the eastern gate. And clearly, you can see already gathered near the gate is a group of merchants, various merchants stationed by the entrance, but you can clearly tell that one's about to depart soon, right? You can see like all their gears intact, and they're talking with the gate guards, right? About to depart soon. You want to check with that merchant or something else?
I'd like to walk up to the merchant and ask if where he's going and if he knows anything about Ronan.
Okay. Alright. So the merchant was busy talking to a guard. You can, as you approach, you hear the conversation, or near the end of the conversation, you can hear, the guards like saying, So do be careful and make sure you have enough guards for this trip. We had recent reports of a caravan just last night discovered on a patrol. It had been raided. A small caravan, a single wagon, a fuel, and everything was looted. No signs of the bodies or anything. It's quite unfortunate. So I know it's daytime and it should be safer, but I warn you, going out there without any guards is very dangerous, sir. And the merchant says, I've done it before, I can take care of myself. Now let me go. And then you, of course, approached and you asked him where he's going. And the merchant looks at you and says, I'm headed to Dog, and no, I cannot afford you. I can't afford to pay for any guards. But if you want to tag along, feel welcome. Right? I'll be leaving very soon. And, as soon as his guards let me through. And the guards warn him again, Sir, you need guards to protect you on the road. The merchant says, Sir, I can take care of myself. Right. So how would you like to react to this, Theo? The situation you're in. You asked the merchant where he's going, he told you, and he's having issues with the guard, the gate guard.
Could I like hide somewhere and see if they like talk anymore,
Sure.
or just sit there before the merchant leaves?
Yeah, you want to just like listen in on their conversations a little longer? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay. So you just gotta keep your distance. You what's it called? You basically just listen in. You eavesdrop on the conversation. All right, Famdo. You made your way through the streets
Yes.
toward the town markets. Okay. On your way there, we're gonna see if anything occurred in the streets of Down. Safely, you made your way to the streets of Down. Townsfolk about, the women, the children, the men, all at work. Down is a busy frontier settlement, right? You're in the markets now, and it's quite busy in the morning. People coming here, opening up their shops and such, right? Preparing to sell their goods and such. Um, so now that you're in the
Yes.
markets, there's clearly many vendors, but you might be looking for a caravan, right? So is that what it is, or something else?
Yes. So I'd like to look for anybody who seems like a regular there, like a security guard or something like that, and ask them where the caravans usually rest or park while the merchants do their business.
Okay, let's start with finding that guard of yours, and you can ask him about where the merchants usually set up, or the caravans set up. And yeah, clearly, as soon as you're in the market, you can clearly see a few guards patrolling the market street, making sure everything's orderly and nothing, no unlawful activities are occurring, right? So you approach a guard, um, he's by himself, he's just walking through the streets, slung around his body is a crossbow. He's just marching around with his spear, and he got a shield on his back. So you walk up to him, he kind of nods at you and says, "Good morning. Excuse me,
Ah,
sir.
yes. Good morning.
Did you need something?"
Yes. I would like to know where do the caravans park when the merchants arrive and do their business? I am looking for work.
All right, he reacts positively, and it's very helpful. He says, "Oh, well, I could point you toward the direction, but I could also take you there because I'm actually on my way there right now." So he points in the distance among the market. He points toward a crowd of people with, you can see wagons and such. He says that there is an encamped merchant caravan. They're from the small settlement of Istan. They come here bearing goods from the mountains. So come with me and I'll take you to them.
I would like that. However, I do have two companions traveling with me, and I would have to meet them and bring them along. So thank you very much for your offer, and much appreciated on your directions. Now that I know where the caravans are, I'll get my companions and come right there.
All right, yeah, have a good day. And yeah, you clearly can see where the caravan is now in the market, so you can definitely come back and find it again. Right. It's in the market. So at this point, you want to head back to the tavern, Fundo? For your next
Yeah,
action?
our meeting spot, definitely.
Alright, back to Sunny. Sunny, you had gone off to the guardhouse to search for our merchant, right? So you made your way to the town streets. Let's see if anything occurs on your way there. Alright, no encounters on the way there. Like the others, right? It's a peaceful walk through the streets of town. Townsfolk about beginning their day's work, right? You made it to the guardhouse, which is actually close to the gate. And naturally, the guardhouse is carefully patrolled and monitored by various guards on their post, right? The guardhouse is, of course, connected to the main gate and is securing the position, right? So, do you want to go inside or something else?
I'll go inside, yes.
Alright. So, there are various components to the guardhouse. There's the stables, the barracks, the headquarters, supplies, armory, training facilities, and of course there's also the I would say for guests at least, or people not working here, there's like the guard hall, or that will lead you also to like kind of a guest facility, like a meeting room. Yeah, so it's like administration, right? It's connected to the headquarters of the guardhouse. So that's where you would go to talk to like officials, right? If you're got an issue, right? So do you want to go into that to report something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me try to find an official to inquire them.
All right. You walk into the guardhouse, right? And as soon as you get inside, right, you can't go much further. There's like a stall near the entrance where a guard, of course, looks at you, and you can see like there's like one person just seated with a cloak around them. Is a drunkard, but there's no entry past this. There's no entry without an escort past this point, right? So you have to ask the desk guard, right, or the officer here. You have to tell them what you want to do, right? You state your business. So the guard just looks at you and says, "Good morning, welcome to the guardhouse. Could I help you?"
I'll hold up the. Hello. I hold up the bounty and I inquire about the attack style. How they attack the caravans.
All right. So the guard on duty, he's uncertain of what you have brought. He says, "Bring it closer, please." Oh, I see. You're a bounty hunter. You must be after the brigand or the bandit, Ronin. You want to know about their textiles? I personally don't know much about their textiles, but I could maybe find you someone you might have knowledge. Naturally, this group of outlaws have avoided the guards and avoided, of course, the law. So that's why we have put the bounty out, and hopefully a group of bounty hunters might be able to collect their heads. The guards have rarely come across these bandits. Naturally, they attack, caravans and anyone who they can, of course, take advantage of. We are doing our best to protect and patrol the roads and secure the positions, but the roads are vast, and we cannot be on every part of the roads at all times. Naturally, we have suggested the caravans only travel throughout the day, but sometimes they are forced to travel throughout the night, depending on how far they have to move. And that's when most attacks occur, the evening hours and night hours. There's nothing we can do about it. How they attack, of course, we have had some reports, but I've never personally encountered them. Of course, they've attacked by ambushing caravans on the road. I think that is known by most. The outlaws are not very honorable, right? They will ambush their enemies and take advantage of weak victims. Anything
thank
else?
him for
I
the
can-
knowledge.
For sure. Would you like me to find perhaps a group of caravans or someone that might have been attacked by one of these outlaws before? I can maybe help you with that.
Point me in the direction of the caravans, and I'll be on my way.
He nods this. There has been recently one group that has survived the journey back. Particularly, um, it was just a few men who managed to run away from their group of merchants. It was two merchant assistants or help caravan hands. They survived the event, but the merchant itself didn't make it, and nor did his guards. And that's how we got the information that the bandits are ambushing and only attacking weak groups on the road. So I can point you in the direction. You can find the caravan hands, probably working. If they're at work, you can maybe ask around and find them in the market somewhere. It's where they currently can be found. Their names, if you're wondering, the two men that came in and reported the raid, their name is we got Margin and Jermaine. So Margin and Jermaine were the names of those caravan hands that fled their last attack. So Jermaine and Margin. Right. In the meantime, while Fundo was at the guardhouse, or not Fundo, Sunny was at the guardhouse. We're gonna go back to Dio's turn. Oh yeah, Sunny. After the guardhouse, though, did you wanna? You got of course directions, and then, yeah, that was it. So we'll come back to you in a moment. You're getting directions right now. He's telling you that it's Jermaine and Margin, the caravan, or in the markets. We're gonna go to Dio's turn now. So back to Dio. You had been eavesdropping on a conversation near the gate, right, for your turn. You're at the main gate, and yeah, the same merchant. He's complaining to the guard, saying, you know, uh, why are you being so demanding of me? I don't have the money to pay for guards. Please let me go. I just want to get my goods back to where they need to be brought, right? And the guard says, once again, all right then. If you really want to go, that's fine. But we have warned you. The road is dangerous, even during the day. Especially someone like you. A single merchant, a single cart, and a single donkey. You don't really stand a chance. The merchant shakes his head. Stop worrying so much. I've done this many times. Let me go. And finally the guard nods. Very well. Let him through the gate. And the merchant begins his travels. Theo, do you want to follow this merchant, or do you want to just let him go, or something else? You've been listening on the conversation. You can also
I'll
talk
just
to him.
let him go.
Let him go.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let him go and travel back to the tavern and just return back.
Okay. Alright. Back to Femdo. You had made your way back to the tavern in your past turn. Let's see if anything was encountered on the way there. Safe travels back to the tavern. None of your crew is here yet, right? You're the first one back. And the time of day is currently 8:40, right? So it's been about 2 turns since you guys departed. Yeah, it's morning still. The tavern isn't busy at this time. A few folk are here having breakfast. That's about it. Is there anything you want to do, or do you just want to wait at the tavern? Or something else?
Yeah, I think while I'm waiting, I'll probably eat a meal.
Okay.
Not one of my rations. I'll keep those. And yeah, order something to eat.
Yeah, you haven't eaten yet, so orders breakfast. There's also, for those who are not familiar, 3 stats that also need to be maintained during your adventures. Otherwise, you can get penalized. There's morale, there's hunger, and there's exhaustion. Right. So if you do not rest, if you don't sleep, you can grow exhausted. If you don't eat, you can, of course, have penalties, right? You cannot focus and heal. And if you do not relax, right, or if you're overworked, right, or scared or frightened, you'll get stressors, right, demoralized. Uh, all of these things can penalize your actions, right? So make sure you maintain good health, pretty much. All right, Sunny, it's your turn again. As Famdo's ordering his breakfast at the bar, so headed to the bar to order breakfast. Sunny's back to you. You were at the guardhouse. You finished talking to the guard or the officer, right? So the duty guard. So, or, yeah, the guard hut guard, right? He's in the hut. So you just talked to him. He gave you information. He told you that you can maybe find two caravan hands in the market named Jermaine and Margin, who are recent survivors of a raid, right?
It seems like it's probably time to head back to the tavern.
Okay.
So I head that way to share the new knowledge.
Hopefully, with all this knowledge and information, we can get to work soon, right? Like some money. That's a good amount of information. We can act on it. Theo's turn. So back to Theo. You have made your way back to the tavern. Let's check if safe journey. Yep, safe travels to the tavern. You walk inside, you know, and you can see clearly Fundo's at the bar. He's ordering a breakfast right now, and there's not many people in here. What would be your next action, Theo?
I'll go sit next to Fundo and just ask if he has any information about further plans.
Sounds good. And you guys are regrouping, so you guys can have a discussion before you take your next actions very soon. Famdo, you're at the bar ordering breakfast, and as you start to order breakfast, you hear someone walk in. You kind of like turn, and you can see it's one of your crewmates, right? It's Theo. He just made it back in time, right? So not long after you got back, he got back. But you're at the bar ordering your breakfast. The barkeep is, or the tavern keeper, right? He approaches you and says, you know, or let's see what he will say to you. All right. He says, you know, good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
You must be hungry.
May I have a regular breakfast if you have such a thing?
He nods and says, I'll get you a menu. He brings a wooden tablet, shows you the options, and I think your character can read. Let's see. You have intelligence 15. Yeah, clearly you can read.
Intelligence of 15, yeah, should be good. All right.
So,
I select the most average sort of option.
nothing in particular,
So
just
yeah,
an average
if this-
breakfast. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, you go.
Oh, so do you just want like an average kind of breakfast? Doesn't matter, or do you want to be particular with what you order?
No, just an average breakfast.
Sure. An average breakfast will
fresh,
cost.
fresh ingredients.
Yep. It will cost you 2 coppers, which is equivalent to like $20 US, right? So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure. I pay the 2 coppers.
All right, you pay up
Need to
front.
make some money soon.
And he tells you your breakfast will be ready in about 10 minutes, right? He yells to the cook your order, and you'll have a very average breakfast soon, or normal breakfast, right? It doesn't mean it's bad, doesn't mean it's great or anything, but it's good, it's healthy, yeah. All right, but while that's happening, if you'd like, you can also react to Theo returning to the tavern as your reaction. Theo, you can react to Fundo being there too, so you guys can join an action and you can either do something together or you can talk together as you guys regroup.
Yeah, so I raise my hand as I see him in greeting and wait for my food. If it isn't delivered to the table, I'll go back to the table that I was sitting at and wait for Theo to sit down.
Okay. Theo, is there anything you want to do or say as you rejoin Fundo?
I would just go sit next to him and just sit there in silence because I didn't find anything
Yeah.
useful.
And then poor Theo, you're young and poor still, so you could not afford breakfast this morning. Let's see. Sunny, it's your turn again, and you are on your way back to the tavern. Let's see if anything occur on your way back. All right, safe travels back to the tavern. By the time you walk inside, you can already see your crewmates in there, right? Dio and Fundor are at a table sitting. You can smell food being cooked, right? It's breakfast time. It's currently it's supposed to be about 9 o'clock now. It's about 9 o'clock, and 9 in the morning, right? Um, looks like someone's waiting for the or someone's about to be served. They're bringing up food for. You can see like they're bringing up food for Fundor right now. Do you want to sit with your crew, or what would you like to do as upon entering the tavern, Mr. Sunny?
Sit with the crew, and as I notice that they're eating, I don't know if I have any copper to purchase food, but if there's a ration or anything I can eat for my status, which I do not, so I will just share my knowledge of Jermaine and Margin. Oh, yeah, I'll go ahead and eat a ration. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, you can pull out 2 rations if you want. You can pass one to the rookie Theo. He has nothing to eat this morning. Let's see.
We'll go ahead and give Theo a ration as well. I notice that he isn't eating.
All right, so you're all fed. As you eat your meals together, Fundo gets freshly served by a beautiful young girl, a bar maiden, right? Tavern maiden. She brings your food to you. It smells so good, right? It's like toast and jam. It's like a bacon, and we got eggs as well, and then a nice thing of tea, right? A pot of tea for the breakfast. All right. With that, you guys start to share your information. You guys can openly discuss, but before this, Sonny started the conversation off by sharing that he learned of 2 caravan hands, right? Jermaine and Margin, who had survived a recent raid. All right, I'll give you guys some time to discuss openly and freely if you want.
Yes. So, lads, I've found out that I found out the location of the caravans in the market. So potentially we could approach one to see if we could provide some services. Have you guys found out anything? Oh, and please do help yourself to some jam and bread.
I kind of just eat whatever rations I have and just sit in silence, just listening to both of them talk.
I like let's go to the market with the caravans, and by chance maybe we can run into this Jermaine and Margin. But if not, we'll follow the nearest caravan out that we see.
Jermaine and Margin, you say? Very well. Once we're done, I suppose we'll head to the market.
Like this plan?
I'm
Dip.
not in agreement.
Dip my ration in your jam. Appreciate it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a ration right there.
Nom 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 nom.
Okay. And our person got a normal medieval breakfast,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
Something like this, probably.
Go on then. Grab a sausage, lads.
I take a look on the offer and grab a sausage and eat it.
Yeah, the other picture just disappeared,
Yeah,
I
you
guess.
may need to be fairly energized for this quest.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's fresh breakfast for the other guy. Alright. But let's begin. After some breakfast, if you want to eat it, it should only take you about 10 to 20 minutes to eat your breakfast. Let's say you were talking as you ate, so it'll take you 10 minutes or 20 minutes. So at 9:20, you finish your breakfast and are ready to set out. Right. What is the crew's next action? Do you guys want to work as or take the same action, or you guys want to work separately still? Should we move as one group?
I would suggest that we all go out to find Jeremy and Margin to see what they know about the attacks.
All on board, or anyone want to try anything differently?
Yeah, in terms of distance, is it closer for us to head to the caravans or Margin and Jerome?
So
Jermaine.
we do not know where they are exactly, but we were suggested that they could be maybe found in the market. Excuse me. When it comes to caravans, caravans could be found in various places in the town. Either the market, of course, same place as Jermaine and Margin, or of course maybe in the streets or near the gate, right?
Yeah, I think I'm with the others. We'll head to the market to look for some work with the caravans and also Jermaine and Margin.
Okay, yeah, we can go there maybe as soon as we get there, split up and start searching, right, or something. But the party begins by, as one whole group, headed toward the market, right? On the way to the market, we'll see if anything occurs this morning. It's a 10-minute walk to the market, and there is an event. Let's see if it's anything of interest. Nothing too interesting, just a normal kind of event. Anything valuable? No. Alright, so just a normal kind of town event occurring, if you're interested. You walk into a town this morning, and you can hear some commotion. You can see, as you walk into the streets, that there's a young woman. She's currently locked up in a wooden contraption, kind of, and people are throwing vegetables at her, right? They're yelling, "Witch! Dirty witch! Bastard! Filthy!" Right? Demon woman, right? They're just kind of bullying her, harassing, or, assaulting her. She is locked up in a wooden imprisonment, right? Of sorts, right? A wooden trap of some sort, right? Mechanism. So she's just being, punished, it looks like. Do you just want to pass by, or do you want to interact with this, or something else?
I'm sorry, lads. Someone should do or say something. So I yelled to the men around there, how can you do this to a woman? I mean, yes, they are a pain, but they are still women.
Okay, so he's confronting the crowd. As your companion Fundo tries to confront this crowd, Dio, do you want to back him up and follow him, or do you want to try something else or something?
I'll just stand there and watch him do his little thing.
Okay, and then Sunny, as Dio, stays back to watch Fundo step toward the crowd and confront him. Do you want to try anything yourself, Sunny?
I'll step behind him and just prepare.
Okay, so do you want to stay back, or do you want to join him?
I'll join him.
Okay. Alright, so Theo keeps his distance and watches from the crowd. Fundo and Sunny steps into the crowd and confronts the crowd. Let's see how the crowd reacts to you trying to talk to the entire crowd. You're interrupting them. They're confused, perhaps. Let's check your charisma score. Fundo's charisma is 10. You're going against what they want to do, so it's a -1 penalty. And you're not a human, so it's another -1 penalty. So it's a 6. They're confused and neutral about you. They kind of ignore you, right? They just continue yelling and screaming. They're like, there's a short pause for a moment, right? And they'll say, "Fucking witch, die witch," right? And they just kind of ignore you. They just continue to throw vegetables and fruits at her. "Evil witch," right? "You deserve to go to hell," right? Do you want to keep trying to confront them, or do you want to move on or something else?
I will give it one more shot. One more shot.
Sure, what do you say?
You savages, calm yourselves. If I could, I would cut you all down for what you are doing. Though I know not what wrong she has done, as I mentioned, for the lot of you to gang up on a woman is disgusting, dishonorable, almost cowardly.
All right, so you have said something that is, of course, against them. And of course you're an elf, so another -2 penalty, and you're actually pretty hostile with your words, so it's a -3 penalty to the reaction. They react
Yes.
hostilely. They immediately attack. Actually, it's a 2. So halfway to your insults and your demands for them to stop this, and of course you're sharing your thoughts on how they are savages and that they are dishonorable. They don't even let you finish, right? As they hear your mouth, if they hear you try to confront them and stop them, uh, they immediately start to turn against you, right? These townsfolk here, they look at you and say, "Hey, why don't he join them?" Or, "Why don't he join her?" Another one says, "Yeah, shut your snap," right? And the other says like, "You have no right. She is a evil criminal, right? She deserves death." And the guards, of course, try to stop the conflict, but before they can, you're already being grabbed. It's immediate attack. Like you're in the middle of insulting this group when suddenly like one of the guys, one of these men, he turns to you and say, uh, like he like just punches your face, like punches at your mouth. As he swings on you, how do you want to react? Do you want to like try to dodge it? Do you want to try to push him back?
Yeah. So I'd imagine that I'm holding my staff as I walk. I'd like to try and
Parry his attack.
his blow.
Okay, so we're gonna roll a reaction. So his initiative is a 2, your initiative is a 1. So before you could raise your staff, he already slammed his fist in your jaw, right? Let's see if there's a chance he still misses. He went past your staff, and there's a chance he might still dodge with your armor class. It's close quarters. He got a natural 1 on his attack. He actually swings the blow, misses you, and ends up hitting the person behind you in the face, right? Right, so the person behind gets punched in the face by the other guy, right? You dodged it barely, and he punched someone else, okay? That person is in a daze, he falls to the ground, and you start a commotion, a fight, right? Like, as soon as that guy went down, his buddy punches that guy, and the guards try to stop the whole commotion. While this chaos is going on, Theo and Sunny will have a chance to act, right? So while Fando was busy dodging a blow, and a fight begins to break out, starting with Theo. You were just watching. Do you want to keep watching, or do you want to get to safety, or something else?
Could I just go to the market?
Yeah. All right.
Just like,
Yeah, that was the original task until we got sidetracked. All right. Dio starts to make his way to the market. Fando, you're in the midst of the crowd. The fighting is starting, right? Sunny's with you.
Yeah.
Right after, yeah.
I would.
Yeah, what's up?
Oh yeah. I would like to pull Sunny to the ground by the wrist and direct him to crawl out from underneath this crowd and then try and get closer to the witch's box.
Okay. And then Sunny, basically, as you were standing beside Fando, he got swung on, and the guy ended up punching a guy behind Sunny. It could have been you, but it ended up punching a normal person, another townsman. As soon as that townsman went down, another townsman moves in to grab onto the first guy. The guards move in to grab onto them. The guys, there's just a fight starting, right? So you feel Fando grab at your sleeve. He pulls you down to the ground. Do you want to go with him, or something else?
I'll follow down to the ground.
Okay, so you both hit the deck, right? You're both elves, right? By the way, so you're foreigners here, right? And you both go onto the ground, and as soon as you hit the ground, right? We're gonna roll the reaction of the people around you if they want to pursue you or not. Okay, so you have made a bad impression. All right, yeah. So as soon as you're on the ground, someone has grabbed onto Sunny's legs, right? he grabs on Sunny's legs. He's like pulling Sunny away from you. Right, as soon as you pulled Sunny down, another person though, that was right behind the first guy that was gonna swing on you, comes up to you and starts to. He's about to kick your head in. Right, he's about to stomp your head in as soon as you hit the deck. So he runs up and starts to stomp your head in. How do you want to react to that, Famo? Do you want to roll out of the way? Do you want to get back up? Do you want to, try to hit him with your staff before? What would you do? He's running up to you. He's about to stomp your head in, right?
Is
Yeah,
my cross? I'm sorry, me or
Famo does first. So Famo and then you.
my
yeah.
bad.
I'd like to draw my wake up, draw my longbow, load an arrow as swiftly as possible, and aim it at the bloke who's about to attack Sunny.
Okay. So
And,
you do
tell him
realize
to,
the situation you're in,
no.
right? You know the situation you're in currently, right? You're about to get your head caved
on the
in.
ground.
You're on the ground with Sunny, right? Think about the timing, right? As soon as you take your bow out, what's gonna happen to your head? Right.
No, I want to wake up first,
Wake up.
so as quickly as possible. Yeah, kind of like roll out of the way, get up as soon as possible. Maybe it's possible, maybe it's not.
Right. Well, you only have one
and if
action.
I
So
can,
what do you do first? Do you get the bow first, or do you roll out of the way first? That's the thing. You only have one
roll out of the way. So roll out of the way, kind of disengage from that.
action. Okay.
Or counter that first, and then load
Right.
longbow and arrow.
Yep. That will be your following action for your next turn. You have to remind
Yeah.
me on your next
Okay.
turn. But yeah, it's
Okay,
one
fair.
turn, one action
Fair.
per turn. Yeah. So as you're
Yeah,
trying to
fair.
roll out of the way of the guy who's about to stomp your head in, Sunny, you pull to the ground with Fando. He was gonna crawl with you, but before that, you can see him rolling out of the way. And as that was about to happen, you feel a man's hands wrap around your ankles, dragging you out. How do you want to react, Sunny?
So I can't really roll because I'm being pulled still, correct?
Yeah, there's a guy's hands on your legs. You can kick. You can try to break free first. How would you want to act?
I have a slung spear,
Yes.
correct?
Yes. Getting that out will take a moment.
I'll go ahead and equip it. And
Okay.
Try to at least as I'm equipping, look at the person grabbing me as well, so I can know where to hit.
Right. You try to like turn around as he's dragging you out from the crowd, right? And basically, what happens is Theo, you're going to the markets. The whole brawl has broken out. Do you want to just continue to the markets, right? Or did you want to wait on your crew before you head to the markets? So you're about to leave your crew, right? They didn't escape the fight, right? They're in the middle of it.
I'll turn back around and like see if I can't help a little bit.
Okay. You'll kind of look out for your crew,
Knowing that,
ready to help.
yeah.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. Yeah. So you like turn around, you're like, fuck, my crew is still there. They didn't make it out. And Fando, right? So for you try to roll out of the way. You were hesitant, maybe a little bit, right? You were not sure. You were about to reach for your bow. You see a guy coming toward you, about to stomp your head. You start to roll out of the way. We're gonna do an initiative check. So here's the enemy's initiative, right? He's gonna come stomp you. He's one of the townsmen who is throwing vegetables and fruits at the woman, right? A cranky old townsman, right? His initiative is 6. Your initiative is 3. So he runs up to you. He's like, "You stinking elf," right? And he kicks your head in, and you're on the ground. He has a very high chance to hit you, right? Only a nat 1 pretty much might miss.
Yeah.
Nat 20s do, right? And actually does double damage. So he stomps your head in for a total of 2 damage, right? Subdual damage. He can't kill you, but it could badly injure you. So he kicked your head in for 2 damage, right? Right, you're in a daze. It's subdual damage though, so it can't kill you. So it knocks you out immediately. You go cold, right? So you knocked out from that. Subdual damage can't kill you. So it can only kill you after, right? So after you knock out, then he can kill you, right? So he kicked your head in. Everything goes black at that moment. So like it's like a movie scene, right? You're on the ground, you're crawling, you're about to take so many actions, but there's so little time to take so many actions, and before you know it, you already knocked out, right? Like you had so many ideas in your mind to escape, but before you could act, you're just blacked out. So status is concussed. All right. So while Fundo got concussed, right, his head kicked in. Sunny, your turn, right? You're like getting dragged, right, throughout the crowd. As you roll around, kind of grabbing at your spear's awkward to pull off, right? But you're trying to pull it off your shoulder is slung on there. You turn around, you see it's a guard, right? He's got a crossbow slung over him. He's like dragging you out of the crowd. He's like taking you out of the crowd, right? Do you want to stab at him as soon as you get their spear out?
Guard?
Yeah, there's a guard dragging you out of the fight. He's pulling you out of the crowd.
I'm not gonna try to attack.
Alright, so he pulled you out of the crowd. And as soon as he pulled you out, he drops you and goes back into the crowd. Tries to like pull people out, right? So you fell on the ground, he pulled you out, and you're outside of the fighting now. As soon as you get out of the fighting, what would you like to do?
Close to my unconscious friend.
You want to go back in? He's in the midst of the fighting, right? If you go back in, you might get attacked. Do you want to stay out of it, or do you want to try something?
I'll pull out my crossbow and prepare it.
Okay, yeah, so you sling your spear back over your shoulder. You're grabbing your crossbow, loading it up, right? As you're doing that, you can see like guards reinforcing the position. Originally, there was only a handful of guards, but now more guards are gathering at the brawl, trying to stop the commotion, right? By the way, arming yourself in the streets like this can be considered a crime, right? Like attempted murder, right? Unless it's self-defense, but still, like, if someone dies, right, you might become a suspect if you're holding a weapon. Just a warning. All right, so back to Theo. You returned to watch the fighting, and you saw someone stand up that you recognized, right? Someone got dragged out of the brawl. It was Sunny. He gets up. You can see him in the distance. He's like, immediately he sling his spear, reaching out his crossbow, pulling at the coral, right? He's preparing for combat, maybe, you're not sure. From a distance though, Theo, would you like to take any actions, or do you want to keep watching, or something else?
Do I notice Fundo unconscious?
Sadly, you can't see him yet. There's too much commotion, right? He's in the middle of it all. You want to keep observing, trying to spot him? You can try that. There's a chance you might see him in the middle of the crowd.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so Dio is using his turn to find Famdo, right? To spot him. Famdo's turn, right? Everything went black for you. Sadly, right?
In La La Land.
And basically, the fighting is going on, and your turn is skipped because you're unconscious. All right, back to Sunny.
Yeah.
Sadly, yeah, you're kind of out of the match at the moment. Sunny, it's your turn again. You got the crossbow loaded. A guard comes up to you and says, drop the weapon, right? And he's holding a club in his hand, right? Like a club and a shield, right? A riot control. So he yells at you to drop your weapon. Do you want to drop it, or do you want to keep it in hand, or something else?
My weapon and tell him I have a friend that is hurt in the ground.
Alright, let's see how the guard reacts to you. He's uncertain or neutral, right? Did you actually end up dropping the weapon, or?
I did drop the weapon.
Okay, he dropped the weapon to the ground. He's confused. He says, you said your friend's in the middle of the crowd?
Yes.
Alright, stay out here, right? And another guard comes over and comes over to restrain you as the first guard goes in to like handle the crowd, right? He starts to like bash at the brawlers, trying to injure them with a club enough that they will stop fighting, right, with their bare hands. He gets in there. Typically, you can't walk around the town armed, or if you are armed, you only can be armed if you're like a mercenary soldier who promises not to, of course, cause trouble, right? So that's why the civilians, the townsmen, they actually can't carry weapons around. They're like just bare fisting, right? So having a weapon is a privilege in the town, right? But if you use it, then it could be a crime. So that's why he yelled at you to drop it, right? Anyway, a few seconds later, the commotion stops. The the guards are restraining, of course, as many of the brawlers as possible. But most of the brawlers, as soon as they notice that they're being restrained, the other ones who weren't restrained immediately, of course, start to flee. And a handful of people are left in the streets, just unconscious, bloodied, broken, right? Including Famdo, right? The guards gather around. They start to restrain as many people as possible. Sonny, you're being restrained. Is this okay? One of the guards came up behind you. He's like, sorry, sir. It's for your own safety and mine, right? He starts to secure your or bind your hands with a rope. Are you okay with that?
A lot.
Or do you want to try to break free and run? Make a run for it. You're gonna be taken in, most likely. It's gonna screw up your day's work, right? Because you're gonna have to go answer questions and possibly get charged with a crime. A misdemeanor or something, right?
How chaotic is it right now? Pretty chaotic, like a lot of people.
No, it's the chaos is settling down. People are running away, right? The guard is behind you, securing your binds right now. You can try to break free right now before he finishes, but that's up to you. Or you can be a lawful citizen and let him do his thing, right? So
Elf, so probably isn't a good spot to get captured, so I'll try to break.
you try to break free. Okay, let's see if you're strong enough. You are, clearly. So he was in the middle of it. You break free, and do you want to make a run for it, or do you want to do something else? You want to attack the guard? Do you want to just run?
Is my crossbow still on the ground?
It is, yeah. If you grab at it, you will have time to hit you, right? You'll be clearly a suspect for breaking free. So you broke free. You just want to sprint out of there.
Crossbow.
You can maybe come back for it later.
Sprint out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll sprint out.
Okay. Sadly, you lost your crossbow. You run out of there. You run away from it all, right, into the alleyways. The guards, yell at you. Let's see if he's able to chase you before you sprint off, right? So initiative. Your initiative is 5. His initiative is 2. Before he can do anything, right, you're already gone in the alleys, right? It's like, fuck, right? The guard yells. He's frustrated as you flee. Even Famdo is locked up. You can see they tie his hands. He's unconscious, but he's locked. He's secured. Dio, you watch from a safe distance, right? As the crowd, starts to dwindle. There's a total of roughly maybe 8 guards here now. One of the guards approaches you, Dio, since you're still nearby, and says, sir, do you have any idea of what started this commotion?
I'm just coming from the market.
Alright. Also, you notice, Dio, right? The girl who was originally on the wooden post, she's gone now, right? Just disappeared. But the guard's asking you, like, do you know what happened here, sir? Why did the fight begin?
I answer, no, I don't. I was coming from the market because my friends were behind me.
Alright, the guard reacts negatively and says, are you sure, sir? He continues to bug you about it. Are you sure that's all you saw?
I calmly reply and say yes. And as calmly as I can.
Alright, he accepts and is very positive. Sorry to bother you, sir. Please be on your way, and I hope you find your friends, right? The guard moves on. But you can see, like, they're piling the injured people onto a cart, or lifting them, right? They're gonna take them to the cells, right? To get processed, right, for their crimes in the streets. It's nothing serious, probably, but it might be a fine, right? And he's gonna be in debt for breaking some of the laws in town. You can see them carrying off Famdo, right? Do you want to try to free Famdo from them, or do you just want to watch them take your friend away?
Do I notice where they are taking him?
Yep, they're taking them to the cells, right, which are at the guardhouse.
Alright,
Or not the guardhouse,
I'll
it's at the
go-
prison. The prison's connected to the castle, or the small keep in the town. So they're taking them to prison, right? Their cells. It's the middle of town. You wanna follow?
alright, I will try to sneakily follow them.
You are a thief, yeah.
To
You can do
where
it.
they're going.
Thieves are very good at stalking and keeping their distance and of course laying low and all that. So you follow carefully behind, right? As you carry off your friend's injured body. Sunny, on the other hand, you sprint off into the alleys, and you got a safe distance away where they do not pursue you any longer. But you have been spotted. You are an elf, right? So probably there's gonna be a notice out for an elf, such as your own, if it's a serious crime. But you might get away with it, right? Nothing serious really. You didn't really do anything serious. But if you see that one same guard again, he might of course try to hit you up with a fee or something, right? What do you want to do from here, Sonny? That was a pretty bad encounter, right? That we got involved with.
Raise my cloak up and my hood to cover my face as much as possible.
Nice. Yeah, you do have that actually. Actually, we can say that you were wearing your hood the whole time if you want. That way your identity is concealed.
Very nice. Stay in the alleyway and kind of see where the guards are taking everyone.
Okay, keep your distance. Observe the guards. Yep, it looks like they're carrying off. They're carrying off the criminals and the survivors of the, or anyone else who was injured, off to the cells right now. It looks like. So you follow them there. You're not the only one following them. Naturally, as you follow them, it's a lot. You're carefully following behind, I suppose. But and the thief is too. And you guys don't know that you're both following naturally because you're both being careful. So eventually, you're at the cells, the prison block, right? So connected to the small keep of the town near the center. They open up a gate. They walk into the ward, right, or the courtyard of the small keep. From there on, it's gonna be hard to see what, or the only way to proceed any further is to get through that gate. And there's guards, and they're carefully observing who's going in and out of the gate, right? Currently, all 8 guards are carrying off all the criminals that they managed to acquire. It was a total of, they captured 6 people, including your friend, right? So 5 randoms, and then 1 elf Fundo, right? And then of course there's 8 guards carrying these people in. Some of them can walk still. They're like able to walk. Fundo, of course, you at this point they did wake you up on the way there, right? And you were to wake up. You were in a daze. You were concussed, but you're conscious again, right? And you're just walking into the ward. The gate closes behind you. And before the gate closes, Theo and Sunny, did you just want to watch the gate close, or did you want to try to sneak in, or something else?
Could I get like higher up to see if I can't find if Sunny's close by?
Yeah, you don't know where he is or any idea, but maybe he's around, right? So, yeah, sure. You can get to a higher part of the town, right? And kind of observe the area for an elf, Sunny, right? His cloak and hood. Sunny, as you see the gate closing or about to close, did you want to take an action, or do you just want to watch it close? As your friend Fundo's about to be separated. Right, yeah. You watch it close. Hopefully his crime isn't too serious. Fundo, as soon as you get inside, they bring you to the infirmary. And some physicians, they come to you, right? Medicine men, right? They come and start to tend to your wounds. They look you over. The nurse, she's like, he looks like he's concussed, right? And they start to put you on a bed, of course, let you rest. Bring you like some warm towels, like wet warm towels, help you like regulate your temperature and such. But the only thing they can really help you with here is they brought you some water to drink. They help you eat. They make sure you can get some rest. And as you're resting, a guard approaches and says, "This one here. From the evidence we heard, he is the one that's helped start the fight. Make sure he's taken good care of so we can charge him as soon as he's recovered for the medical fees and for the crimes." And the nurse and the doctor or the physician, they nod as they take care of your injuries. Okay. Back outside, Theo and Sunny, right? Theo decided to get onto a high area, right? Now you're easily spotted, of course. You like climbed onto, say, like the side of a building, maybe the stairs, right? And you're looking over the area. You don't see Sonny, but Sonny, you see him, right? You see a thief, your companion Theo, just kind of overlooking the area. You want to regroup with him or something else? Yeah, regroup. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna check the game time. Just real quick. When did I start a game at? What was it? It was about 4 o'clock p.m. It's been about an hour and a half now, so we are actually at halftime for the max duration we can play. So before we continue any further, just gonna check up on you guys. Are you all doing okay? And then after this, we can take a small break. So is everyone doing all right so far on the game? I know like the situation's pretty rough.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool.
Okay. All good. All right. Please take a 5-minute break. It says yeah, your halftime break. So take 5.
Cool. See you now.
Is everyone back?
Well, I am.
Alright, awesome. Thank you. Welcome back. Ming, Slugger.
Yeah, man.
Ming, are you back with us? I'll just ping him real quick.
Yeah, I'm back.
Alright. So last we left off, the party had regrouped, kind of, right? Theo and Sonny, you were able to regroup outside of the castle walls, or the keep of Down, and you just lost your friend Fundo not too long ago, right? He got locked away for this adventure. Maybe he'll be able to escape or buy his way out. But from here out, since his character lost his freedom, technically he's been disbanded from the party at the moment. Theo, how would you like to proceed? Do you want to try to acquire your friend again, or something else?
So Sonny and I were regrouped, right?
Yep.
I think that I'll turn over to Sonny and tell him that trying to go in there to get him out is pretty slim chance, and that we should at least go to the market to get some intelligence.
Yeah, good idea. Maybe we can find a dirty guard to bribe on the way.
What's an idea?
Alright, sounds like the two of you head to the market this time for Shirley. In the meantime, while Fundo maybe tries to figure out how he's going to escape or get out of the infirmary. So in the infirmary, there's a nurse and a physician, a medicine man, that's tending to your injury. They provided you with water, some food. They brought you like some hot soup, and of course they brought you some warm and wet cloths to regulate your temperature. That's about it. It feels nice. You feel pretty bad in the head at the moment. Do you want to remain resting or something else?
Yeah, so what kind of shape am I in? If I were to look for a way to escape, would I be able to?
So you can still function. Yep.
Struggle.
Anything that you do though is penalized because you have a concussion right now. You're concussed. The penalty is about the pretty much
Yeah.
a -1 penalty to everything you try to do. However, anything directly involved with the brain is a -4 penalty, so it's almost impossible. So any thinking, any like thing you have to concentrate, use spells, it's a -4 penalty. Because you can barely
wow.
think.
Okay.
But, like physical things, you can like walk around without much of a penalty, right?
No, I think I'm going to park myself where I'm at right now, and yeah, just wait for this to play out, not cause any more trouble for my companions, I guess.
All right. So you technically kind of are out of the out of the adventure, out of action at the moment.
Yes.
So in the meantime, instead, if you want, you can let Femdo rest up as he's concussed in the infirmary, In the meantime, you can of course roll up a new character and maybe join Theo and Sunny for whatever else they might be doing soon. Would you like to do that instead, or do you want to play out Fundo's concussion experience?
Well, I think if the lads are going adventuring, they're going to need some help. So I don't mind taking a new character.
Okay, yeah, we'll let Fundo rest up. He made some mistakes, and now he's got to recover. So we'll take him out of the adventure for now, right? Status is concussed at downkeep. Concussed and jailed at downkeep. Right. Pretty terrible status, but could be worse.
Yeah, could be.
Alright, Theo and Sunny, you made your way into the market as a group. On your way there, let's check for any encounters. Oh, wait. Alright, yes, there was an encounter on the way to the market, but nothing too crazy, I think. We're going to say that this encounter was that a fellow adventurer noticed your crew moving through the markets, a thief and an elf, and perhaps was interested in joining, right? So it'll be up to you guys to allow this new crew member into your group to join you on your adventure. This will be, of course, Ming's new character. So Ming, for your new character, first step is you got to choose its class.
Yeah, so judging by what we have, thief and an elf, I'd like to play a dwarf, if that's all right.
That's fine. Yep. And then next is what would you like to name it?
Any traditional name. We can pick it out of the name selector.
Okay, sure. Get you an old school D&D name here again. Let's see. We've got 2 syllables. First one is Lou. Second one is Bear. So you're Luber. Or Lubber.
Okay.
Luber, the Dwarven veteran. Check your hit points. Nice. 7.
Good.
16 strength. Already a great start. Okay. 13 intelligence. 10 wisdom. 11 dexterity. 11 constitution. And 11 charisma. Alright.
Okay.
Yep. Your equipment starting gear is going to be the preset. Helmet, hand axe, knapsack, small hammer, 10 iron spikes, a tinderbox, torches, tunic, belt, brace, shoes, and that's it. Alright.
Cool.
So,
yeah.
Let's see. You're going to be, you notice a crew or a couple of adventurers walking around the streets, head toward the market, and you recently have arrived in Down, and you're hoping to, of course, go on an adventure, but before you can, you'll need to join a party. And you notice a party of 2 who is very small and missing a member, right, possibly. Would you like to request to join them, or do you want to try something else?
Yeah, I'd like to approach them if possible, and state my case. I would tell them, name's Loba. Sorry to bother you, but I'm looking for work. Protection's my game. I like to think, and it seems like you are fairly sturdy adventurers who could help me out.
Alright. Sunny and Theo, how would you like to respond? Do you want to accept his offer or something else?
Kind of weary of him at first, but still maybe accept the offer, but like keep him at a bit of a distance.
Right.
Fair.
You just lost a crew member, so, and now you've got a replacement immediately. Coincidentally. So yep. Theo nods, says sure, right. But he's, careful about you, right? You can tell he's maybe a little on edge because you're a stranger. He's never met you before, and you've immediately offered to join their crew. Sonny, how would you like to respond to Luber's request? Sonny, are you with us?
Here? Sorry. I say we let him join.
Alright, welcome aboard then. Luber, you're in the team. And the crew is headed to the market. They might give you some background information on what they're trying to do. They might explain the situation. They're trying to, pretty much find the merchant to work for, right? Or to help escort or protect. Perhaps they're probably looking for some caravan hands, in particular a man named Jermaine and a man named Margin. And recently they just lost a crew member, right? So they're open to, that's maybe why they're open to you joining in so abruptly, right? So.
Okay. Yeah, I will follow your lead.
Right. So the three of you are now in the markets, and as you get here, do you guys want to immediately split up and search for various things, or do you want to stay together and look for a particular thing in the market?
I want to go around and see if anyone knows the whereabouts of the two merchants we're looking for.
Okay. Sounds good. So Theo, are you just gonna ask the nearest vendor or stranger? Who would you like to ask about the caravan hands or the merchants?
There's the nearest merchant or vendor that's by.
Okay, sounds good. And Sonny, what would you like to do now that you're in the market? You can tell Theo's immediately approaching a vendor and about to talk with him. What would you like to do?
I'll go in the opposite direction and ask for locations of Jermaine.
Okay, and then Luber, you see Theo and Sonny immediately start to split up to ask questions in the market. Do you want to follow either of them? Do you want to ask questions yourself, or would you like to try something else?
Yeah, I would probably want to follow. I guess Sunny. He seemed a little more positive, I guess, to my joining. So I'd probably follow him.
Right. Bear in mind, he is an elf, though, right? Elves and dwarves have kind of a hatred for each other a little bit, but he's a bit more open to you, at least so far it seems. Yes, the young man,
Good.
Theo, bit questionable about you, but he was the first one to let you in. Alright, Theo, you went off on your own to talk to the nearest vendor. Let's say it's a baker, right? You approach her, and what do you want to say to her?
I will say hello. I'm looking for two merchants, Jeremiah or Margin. Do you happen to know where they are?
Let's see how she reacts. She reacts neutral or uncertain. She's confused. She says, I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I can help you. There's a lot of people around here, a lot of people who work here. Maybe, do you know their names? Or what kind of merchant they are?
They were recently come back after their caravan has been, robbed by some bandits. If you know who they are.
Alright, she reacts positively and she says, oh! Yes, I do! You must be talking about Jermaine and Margin. The caravan hands. They're not merchants or traders. They help deliver cargo and such, and they assist with the trade and such among the merchant caravans. Those two cowards yeah, they left their crew behind, and currently, of course, I think last place I heard they were hanging out was the tavern. If you go there, you might be able to find Jermaine and Margin. They're spending the last of their funds on drinks after everyone started bullying them for being cowards, abandoning their post and their job. But really, who could really blame them, right? Their life was on the line. If you don't know what the tavern is, I can point you in the direction. It's down that street right there. She points westward away from the market, right? Just ask around. Most folk will be kind enough to take you to the tavern. I have to work here right now, so I can't really walk you there. Would you be interested in buying some bread? Or any pastries?
I will say no, thank you, but thanks for telling me where they could be, and I will walk off
Okay.
to Mercedes.
So after your encounter with the merchant, yeah, you take off. Alright. Sonny, you had gone over to question another merchant nearby. Let's see. You've got yourself a weapons dealer. See that you approach a weapons dealer stall. The man here, he sees you approaching. He sees that you are an elf, right? You're lightly armed, and he greets you. Says, or he can't tell that you're an elf, but he sees your hooded figure. You've got a staff on you. He says, good morning, sir. Perhaps you might be interested in some of these fine armaments. Any particular type you're looking for this morning?
I have no coin to spare on weapons right now. I do request some information. Do you have a moment?
Alright, let's check his reaction. Confused and uncertain, he says, I'm not too sure if I can help you with anything exactly. That's not related to this job. But I'll try. What kind of questions do you have?
Two recent men came back from a caravan attack. Jermaine, tell me the character of them. Margin.
Confused, uncertain, he says, Jermaine and Margin. Not too sure who they are. If I knew, I would tell you what I can, but it's alright. I don't know.
About the recent attack?
Oh, the recent attacks on the road is what you're asking about. Yeah, the road has been quite dangerous lately.
They were involved.
A lot of our shipments have been delayed and perhaps even stopped on that road between here and Easton. Easton provides our town raw resources to help craft weapons, which I sell.
Take up any more of your time. Thank you, sir.
Have a good day. Come back when you're interested in purchasing some fine equipment and weapons. We'll be here. Alright. In the meantime, while that was going on, Luber, you followed Sadi's conversation at the weapons stall. Did you want to do anything or say anything while Sunny was talking to the weapons dealer?
No. For now, as the new guy, I'm just going to more or less shadow Sunny.
Right. Okay, well, I suppose your party could regroup. It's not long after you guys notice both groups have finished their conversations and you're one party again, right? Theo, you move into the party. Sunny and Luber regroup with you. Would you guys like to immediately take action? Maybe begin your journey to the tavern? Maybe have a short discussion on what you learned? What would you like to do?
After regrouping, I'll tell Luber and Sunny that the last I talked to a woman and their last whereabouts go to the tavern and I point to the tavern where she showed me.
Right.
And
So as Theo suggests,
Let's go to the
yep.
information.
Okay. Immediately, Sunny
Go ahead.
agrees. It sounds like. Liber, what do you
Yes,
think?
yes, agreed.
Any input from you, Liber? I'll change your name too. Let's see, change this name. Liber the dwarf now.
Yeah. Sorry, was there a question for me?
Yes. Real quick for you. Theo suggested we head back to the tavern after he gathered information. Sunny immediately agreed and wants to head to the tavern as well.
Yes. Yeah. I'm with them.
Right. To the tavern we go. Alright. Let's see if anything occurs on your way back to the tavern. Meantime, yeah, Fungo's just in recovery still. It's gonna be a while before he recovers. Concussion takes maybe a week to start recovery, right? It's a pretty bad injury. Let's see. Alright, so any encounters on the way back? No. Safely you made your way back to the tavern. Let's do a report on time. I would say it's been about an hour. It's at 10:30 you make it to the tavern. Walk inside, and it's 10:30, so people are starting to come into the tavern at this time to start their lunch, right? Take a break from work. Number of patrons, that means just customers. About 14 patrons aside from yourselves, so now it's 17. Weapons are locked up upon entry. What would you like to do here?
I like to go to up to like the barkeep or someone and ask if Jeremy or Margin has been here recently.
Okay, so questions for the barkeep. Sonny, as soon as you entered, Theo is making his way to the bar to talk with the barkeep. What would you like to do? And if you want some options, I can give you some.
I'll just scan the room for two people that are sitting together by themselves.
Alright, Luber, upon entering the tavern, anything you want to do in particular?
No, I would like to ask my party members, what would you have me do?
Okay. Alright, so immediately, Theo went off to the bar without further delay to talk with the barkeep. Sunny stayed back near the entry to scan the crowd. And Sunny, as you start to scan the crowd, Luber interrupts your scanning a little bit, just off to the sides, asking if you've got any orders for him or anything you want him to do for your party. Would you like to react to that and respond, or do you want to continue scanning the crowd? Or something else?
I'll react and tell him that try to find the ones that are drinking heavily.
Ah, very well.
Alright, and then Luber.
Uh, He does just that. He scans the room for a pair of heavily drinking humans, I guess.
Alright.
Are they human?
Most of the patrons are human, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Theo, at the bar. You approach the barkeeper. Alright. And what would you like to say to the barkeeper? Or do?
I will say, hey, I would like to ask a few questions about a couple people that might be at your tavern.
He reacts neutral and uncertain. As soon as you start asking things, he says, first, would you like anything to drink or eat before we continue?
Oh, no, thank you.
All right, and you've got questions?
Yeah. There were two. What were they? Were There were two people that were recently attacked in a caravan robbery. Jeremiah and Margin were their names. Do you know if they were here recently today?
Reacts positively. Says, of course, Jermaine and Margin. Came here a couple days ago. Started heavily drinking after the recent job. Yeah, that's him over there. He points into the crowd. Two men having lunch together right now, leisurely. The lunch looks like a snack platter, if anything, right? Not really an actual lunch. It's like a platter of cheese and sausage and knives and tankards and empty tankards and pitchers of ale or beer, whatever they're choosing to spend their money on. He says, yeah, it looks like they were fired from their last job after they failed to help escort their caravan, and they're using their security funds at the moment to just drink their sorrows away. But they also are looking for employment, if that's what you're interested in. They asked me to ask around if anyone's willing to employ their services as caravan hands or guards. But no one really trusts them anymore and thinks that they're cowardly. But yeah, that's them over there, Margin and Jermaine. Anything else I can help you with?
No, thank you. And will walk up to the people that they were at.
Okay, that'll be your next action. Let's see. Okay. Sonny, you scan the crowd for any groups of two, and but among the patrons here this late morning, you do notice, of course, a few groups of two, right? You see about maybe like two old men having lunch together. You see two ladies having tea together, and you see two men enjoying a platter of snacks and pitchers of ale or beer together. What would you like to do from there? Is that something you're interested in? Sunny?
Sorry, I just wait for just a second. You say?
So you scanned the crowd and you saw a few groups of two, right? A group of women, a group of old men, and a group of men. Would any of those interest you, or would you rather do something else?
I'll walk up to the group of men.
Okay, a couple of men enjoying a platter of snacks and pitchers of alcoholic beverages. Alright, Luber, you are scanning the crowd for drunks, and no one at this time seems to be drunk. It's lunchtime, but you do notice two people are drinking heavily. That's toward that same group, right? So at this point, you want to approach two, and at this point, all three of you would be approaching all at once, then, right? Learning about it from different ways.
Yeah.
Alright, so the three of you kind of regroup and gather around the two men who are enjoying themselves with plenty of food and drink. As you approach, let's see their reaction to your party. They react positively. They kind of greet you immediately and say, good morning, gentlemen. Perhaps you are interested in the services of mercenaries, caravan hands, caravan guards. We can be anything you want as long as we're paid well and the job is that of high risk and reward. And they both nod. Yes, yes. Looking to hire anyone? You might be looking to hire us. We're a great handyman, we're very helpful, and we need a job.
Luba, being a hard-headed dwarf, asks, really? Well, say we consider you. How have your last 2 or 3 jobs gone? Successfully?
They're not too certain what to say. They look at each other for a moment, confused. Like, well, we've had our ups and downs, and perhaps our most recent job didn't go too well. You might have heard the rumors. Me and my friend here,
No, no, please tell me more.
the other friend says, well, we were actually fired from the last company. We failed to help carry the goods to the most nearest town, Easton, the village of Easton. We're delivering supplies there. But our small caravan was raided and we had to flee for our lives or be killed. But I guarantee you that if there's a reasonable chance, we will definitely be there to help you. We care more about safety than anything. And they both nod. Yes, yes. So perhaps people have been saying bad things about us, but I promise you, we're very good workers.
Tell us more about the ambush. The more we know, the better.
Right, right. Both nod. Well, it occurred a couple days ago, actually. You see, we made a trip to Istan. As we always do. It was a day trip. We spent the day at Istan. We were relieved, and then in the evening they called us back to work because they wanted to make their way back to Down. So we had to do an evening shift. We did, of course, complain because, as guards recommend, traveling the roads at the evening hours or night is extremely dangerous. However, the merchant really wanted to make its way back to Down before the next day to secure profits and, speed up the process of our job, right? If we can get back to Down the same day, we can load up in the morning and start delivering our next set of goods back to Easton. You see, that's where things went wrong. And the other guy, Jermaine, starts to speak again. Says, during that evening, unfortunately, our group of roughly, say, half a dozen, we had a merchant, we had a few guards, we had us, caravan hands. We were on our way to Down, and the guards were confronted by the outlaws, who numbered roughly one leader, which we assumed to be the infamous robber knight, Ronan, and his men. He only had 3 men with him that day, but they still managed to take on our caravan. We had 3 guards who fought up against Ronan. I think Ronan was very skilled with the sword and cut down the guards very quickly. His helpers, his 3 companions, took over our caravan before anything got too worse or too bad. Me and my friend here, we had to flee. The merchant, of course, caught up in the whole issue, never made it out of there with us. We don't know what happened to him. But that's the story. Yes, we got ambushed by a group of 4 men.
I look at my companions, raise my eyebrows to seek a reaction.
I will kind of barge in and say, well, thank you so much for that, and maybe we can consider you to join us for our next adventure.
They both nod and say, we promise we'll be very good at delivering the goods, but if things get too dangerous, we'll make sure your goods get back to safety. And they nod. They both nod. We did manage to deliver most of the goods back, at least. The outlaws did not take everything. The goods that we particularly were carrying, we did return to the company. Just not many people know that fact. So that's why we're not in jail or anything like that.
Did the outlaws seem to be looking for anything in particular?
Yeah, well, we weren't exactly in the conversation, but we believe that they were asking for a road tax, and the thing is, the guards didn't want to pay it, and then a fight broke out, and the guards got killed. Yeah, they were like you, actually. They looked you guys over, and they said, yeah, exactly. There was like 3 guards, right? And they not, yeah, 3 adventurers who were hired by our merchant, and they all died to one dude.
I will get up from the table and kind of gesture the others to follow me, as I believe that we have enough information from them.
Yes.
All right.
So he stands up and nods at the men and follows.
So now that you've gathered quite a bit of information, you know what you're up against. 4 outlaws out there on the road who have been ambushing small caravans, right? Only small caravans. They naturally, it's hard to track them down if you're a guard because guards go with larger groups, and when you're in larger groups, it's harder to keep up and track down these small groups of outlaws, right? Who are targeting very small groups of merchants, very weak victims, right? So, uh, but as you have heard, right, it was a group just like yourself that went out there to hired by a small caravan and failed to protect it, right, against a group of, you know, 4 dudes, right? So, if you guys want though, it's 11:30. You can begin working on the job. Actually, you have information. Now you might want to actually act on it, whether it be patrol the road yourself, join up with the merchant caravan, or something else, right? What do you guys want to do from here?
I think I'm gonna suggest that we find someone, like a small caravan that's gonna head for his travels, and either hide away in it or protect it to see if the bandits show up or not.
Okay, so Theo's made a suggestion. Luber and Sunny, what about you? What do you think?
Sounds like a plan.
Find the small caravan, and I need to pick up my crossbow if it didn't get constantly picked up by the guard. Evident.
Probably got, most likely got confiscated, but perhaps it's still there. Right.
Could see if the crossbow is still at that place before we finalize the plan.
Alright, you guys want to go check out the area in town where you guys last saw the crossbow, right? Where the woman was being punished. It's on the way to the market.
Like plan.
Alright. So you make your way back to the spot that you lost your Fumdo this morning, right? The elf Fumdo. It's a 10-minute walk to the spot. Let's see if anything happened on the way there. Dice are being rolled. Safely, you might get to the spot, and you look around, right? Just remnants of vegetables and fruits lie about, kicked up dirt here and there. Yeah, the crossbow is definitely gone, right? Nothing of value remains, sadly. So, if you're interested, the market is still open. You can buy a new crossbow.
Here is what I have.
Yep, at the moment that seems to be the case. Alright, how would you guys like to approach this adventure at this point?
Well,
I think we're searching for the small caravan.
Yeah, we're looking for some
Yeah.
someone to escort.
Do you want to check the markets? Do you want to check the gate, the streets, or somewhere else?
I say we check the market.
Alright,
Good.
all on board?
Yep, sounds good.
Not long after, your party's in the market, looking around for any small caravans that might be departing soon. And clearly, it's almost noon now. Most caravans depart, of course, in the morning, and caravans return or arrive in the town around noon. So actually, there are some new arrivals in the market, right? Who made the journey from Easttown, it looks like, or Dog, yeah, Dog, and they just arrived in Down. So you see, it's a farming caravan, right? So a bunch of farmers are here dropping off their produce, right, into the market. So fresh produce is being dropped off right now, and they'll probably need help maybe on the way back to Dog, right? So you want to go talk to them and ask them when they're gonna make their way back to Dolg or something else?
I think we go talk to them.
Yes, agreed.
Okay, so let's say you approach
About
the
their schedule.
farmers, right? You can see they're just unloading their caravan, dropping it off the market. You approach one of them and what would you like to say or do? Because they're busy unloading their caravan, right? So
I guess I could walk up and ask if they plan to head back after they finish unloading their supplies.
The farmer looks at you and says, good morning. Yeah, we do plan on heading back, but why do you ask? And who exactly are you? As he looks you over, you can tell that you're a thief, right? So he's kind of concerned.
I gesture over to my two teammates and say we are mercenaries and we need a job, and was wondering if we could help you get back to where you came from.
He's a bit uncertain. He looks over your crew and says, I'm not too sure. I'll have to ask my boss. Looks like you're looking for a job, though?
Yes.
Alright, one moment. His boss is not certain. The boss comes over and says, we actually have enough guards at the moment. If you're looking for a job, though, maybe I can point you in the direction of where you can find one. Mercenary work looks like you're a mercenary group.
Oh yeah, we're a group of mercenaries.
Yeah, I've actually heard something recently. I've got news. Apparently, there is actually a group of mercenaries in town hiring into their services. They've mostly been sending troops out to the east to conduct raids, actually, on foreign territories. If you're interested, I can point you in the direction of the mercenary company.
I think I would gesture over to Sunny and ask for his input.
Not technically looking for mercenary jobs. We're looking for this bounty, and we think that your caravan is exactly his target. And so we just maybe follow you on your next journey.
Oh, yeah, if you want to tag along, that's fine. We'll be leaving after lunch today. We're gonna have lunch here after we finish unloading, and then we're gonna head back to Dolg. But my friend and a lot of my men actually are former employees of a mercenary company called the Green Dragon. If you're interested in joining their ranks, the Green Dragon conducted most of their raids in the eastern lands, and he notices he notices none of you are elves openly, I think, or maybe Sunny. Yeah, you're concealed, but by the way, the eastern lands are the elf lands. So these mercenaries raid and pillage the elf lands. That's where you're from. So he's suggesting that you join the Green Dragon Mercenary Company and raid and pillage in the elf lands, right? So naturally, that doesn't sound good to Sunny, possibly. Yeah. He doesn't know you're an elf, though, because you're concealed, right? You got your hood on and helmet. But yeah, the humans and the elves are not really at peace with each other. They're kind of at war. There are different elf families and clans. You might not be from this particular clan. In fact, you might, be from a different group of elves. There's different elf groups, right? So currently, these ones are being raided and pillaged by mercenaries from down, right? Lawfully raided and pillaged. They've got support from down to raid and pillage their lands and clear it out so that human territories might further expand eastward, right? Because the elves control this eastern border right now, and unless they're cleared out or submit to the humans' rules, we cannot further expand the human territory on this coastline, eastward at least. So now they're just forced to they're being forced out of there, right? Through raiding and pillaging, right? Alright, that's probably not something you guys are into since you have an elf in your group. If you didn't have any elves, that would be a good suggestion, but alright. Anyway, yeah, you can join the farmer and his journey back to Dog, right? When they're ready. In the meantime, you guys can do other things, right? So it is currently 11:50 right now in the market, and they're not leaving until after lunch. So probably around 1300 hours is when they'll set out. It's afternoon. Is there anything in particular you guys want to do in the meantime, or do you guys just want to wait and pass the time?
Can help the farmer in any way and earn a little copper and possibly buy a crossbow. But if not, I say I'll just wait.
Yeah, if you want, you can help unload, and they're unloading, and then they're gonna pack up some things here too. So there's supplies that they're buying from down to bring over back to their village, right? Supplies that they can't produce here. So this is a trading crafting settlement, right? Like a hub, right? A trade hub. This is a settlement that has, you know, raw resources, and this is a settlement that has a lot of supplies like food, right? Farming. So naturally, while they drop off their farm goods, they're gonna pick up like tools and bits and pieces, right? That they'll need, medicine, craft goods, right? That they'll take back to Dole to sell. So, yep. So yeah, you can definitely help load up if you want. You could work for them for just an hour while they're having lunch. They can pay you a single copper for your help if you work for a full hour, loading up their wagons. Would that be of interest to you?
Do that.
Honest work.
Yep, an hour of honest work, an hour of fatigue. So your carrots will grow a little tired from it, right? It's considered work hour. Your carrots can only work a maximum of 8 hours in a day until they get exhausted. You've already been working. You start at work today at 8 o'clock, so at 1600, if you're not relaxing, you're gonna get demoralized. Alright, so, and this is hard work though, so it's like, it counts as like 2 hours in 1 hour, basically. It's hard labor that you're about to do. So, typically you can work 8 hours in a day, but if you do hard labor, you can only work 4 hours, typically, something like that. So, it's like exhausting labor. So you're doing exhausting labor, carrying heavy goods, sorting them out, and then loading them onto the wagons. You'll do that for an hour, and then of course you'll get paid, right? Also, by the time you finish your job, it's 12:50. They're about to set out soon, and you're quite hungry. You haven't had lunch yet, so you finish your job, but you need some lunch. You've got 10 minutes left. If you want, you could buy like a quick snack in the markets, right? You're already in the markets. If you want, you could buy like some preserved foods like beef jerky. You can eat on the way there, things like that. Basically, you can buy a ration you'll munch on the way to Dog. A ration will cost 2 coppers. You all earn 1 copper for working for 1 hour. So
Okay. I've got 2 sets of rations on me, so I'd like to hand that to my companions to share if they choose.
I'll split my ration.
all right, Luber has. I don't think Luber has any rations, right? That's maybe
Oh, apologies. That was
from
the other guy.
yeah.
From
All right, so Luber can't feed the crew. What
ignore
you
that.
could do is you guys can combine your wealth, right? And then make the purchase of a single pound of rations, and then you guys can just snack on that. You won't be fulfilled, but you won't be starving, right? So, would you guys like to share a pound of rations, like a pound of beef jerky, basically? It will just kind of get you by.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right. It just costs 2 coppers for that, so. You all can buy your own half pound, pretty much. If you buy half a pound, it just costs 1 copper. So you do that, you all are half fed for lunch. Therefore, the penalty is not that you're not penalized, but you'll just get hungry faster. So you fill yourselves, you replace your hunger, right? So you're no longer hungry. But the thing is, because you didn't eat as much, you'll get hungry a lot quicker. If that makes sense, right? Like instead of getting hungry around dinner time, it's like you're gonna get hungry around like 4 p.m. instead of 6 p.m. Makes sense? So, alright. But your crew is ready. You're there for the past 10 minutes, and the caravan's headed out, right? They've loaded the wagons. They're making their way out through the streets of Down and out to Dog. The journey to Dog. Let's see how far it is. This here is about 4.5 roughly, or 4. This is 3. So it's about 4 miles out to Dog across pretty easy terrain to move through, right? We've got hills and grasses, and that's about it, and a road. The road can increase our speed by about 33%. No, 50% actually. Caravan moves at 2 miles an hour. 50% increase allows us to go to 3 miles an hour. So it should only take you guys about an hour and a half to get to Dog if we're not delayed. Approximately an hour and a half. With a few breaks, we're gonna round it up to 2 hours, right? So yeah, we'll round it up to 2 hours then. We departed Down at 1300. We should get there by 1500 hours. That should be close to the end of the workday, and you guys will be pretty much exhausted by the time you get to Dog. Alright. So here we go. To the grasslands and to Dog. For the 2 hours of marching, there is indeed 2 chances of just a standard encounter, like random encounters, and then there's a wandering monster encounter as well. Let's see. So no encounters, no normal encounters. We'll check for a wandering monster encounter. And lastly, we'll check for a bandit encounter, since the road is dangerous. 1 in 6 chance for it to be the bandits. Or actually, not a 1 in 6. Yeah, we'll say a 1 in 6. Yeah. All right. So, you never did come across the bandits on the way to Dog, but you did come across signs of the bandits, right? That's it. The remnants of the last raid, which was conducted on the road between down and the intersection here. So you were moving along and you found a broken cart off to the side of the road, right? Would that be something you guys want to be interested in? Do you guys want to break away from the caravan and investigate that, or do you want to move to Dog with them? So you found signs of the bandits, right? Just a broken cart off to the side.
I would ask if we would want to check that.
So if you check that out, you'll be departing from the caravan. The caravan's not going to stop for you, right? You have a destination. Investigate or get to Dog?
Would we want to investigate that?
It seems like we're very close to tired. But I will follow your lead.
That is true. We should probably go rest and come back.
Rest up at Dog. Come back and investigate the next day.
Yeah.
Alright. So yeah, you finish your travels to Dog. By the time you get there, you're quite exhausted. You're quite hungry. It's 1500 hours. So it's like 3 p.m. You're getting pretty hungry. Jerky that you ate, it did keep you filled for a small amount of time. You're not quite starving or hungry yet, but you're getting very close. About an hour later, you'll be quite hungry again. Now that you're in Dog, of course, the farmers and such, they depart. You are released. If you want, you can help unload. If you help unload, they will pay you another copper. If you help unload.
I'm gonna take this time to rest for myself.
But if you do help unload, you will actually be exhausted for sure, right? And exhaustion means that you'll need to take a whole day to recover, right? Typically, or a whole 8 hours to recover. So on top of sleep, you'll need 8 hours more to just recover when you overwork yourself. So, do you guys want to overwork
me,
yourself,
yeah,
or do you
okay.
want to just get some rest?
We just get some rest.
Yeah.
All right, and
Fair enough.
when it comes to accommodations for the rest of the evening, you're about to send your characters into their rest period, not their sleep, but their rest period. So 8 hours in the day, the characters are resting and having their free time, typically starting around 1600 hours. Um, but when it comes to location, do you guys want to find a accommodation, or do you guys want to go camping and build a fire and sleep in the countryside? That's free, of course.
I think it depends on what we can afford. I have no coin.
That might be our only option, to sleep out in the countryside. You're out in Dog, it's a hilly farmland. You're in the farmlands right now,
I
the
have
farm country.
no coins, so we may have to sleep out on the ground for the night.
Alright, so your band of poor adventurers set out for the fields, get yourself a fire going, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Um, you don't have any money, any energy to really acquire dinner tonight, so you'll be going to bed hungry. Is that alright with everyone?
Yep.
That's all we got.
Yeah.
Right, it's the only option. We're quite exhausted, but at least your mental health will be alright. So your hunger's gonna be bad, your energy's gonna be good, and your morale's gonna be good because you have taken time off to rest, taken time off to sleep. Just now, the only thing causing you trouble is hunger. Alright, this takes us to the next day, most likely. During the evening shift, there's a chance for a random encounter. We'll check as you encamp the position. And of course, during the night as well. Yikes. You're out in the countryside, sleeping at night in the outskirts of the farmlands, just somewhere in the open country where there's no actual crops and it's not anyone's property or land exactly. When there's an encounter, right? You're tired, you have a night watch perhaps, you guys are maybe doing 3-hour watches so that everyone has 6 hours of sleep at least, over a 9-hour course of rest period, right? Since you only have 3 mates or 3 companions total, right? So 3-hour shifts. Someone's on shift at this time, or well, randomly. It turns out it was Luber on shift at this hour. This occurred at 1 in the morning. So pretty early into the shift, right? Or pretty early into the night when you guys were sleeping. At 1 o'clock in the morning, we've got some action, right? Are we surprised? We are. Is it surprised? It's not. So we're surprised. Before we can even take any action, this thing takes an action against us first before we can do anything. Its reaction to us is hostile. Now let's find out what kind of monster this is. So we're out being attacked in the middle of the night against a monster out here in Dog's farmlands. You haven't heard much about Dog, but it's on the borderlands, right? And because of that, its countryside is not exactly safe. There's like a lot of predators, like wolves and bears, and rumored, of course, folklore monsters like goblins and orcs, right? That live in the woods or the hills and such, right? So, and visit the village at night. So your vulnerable group of 3 men is approached and attacked in the middle of the night out in the country. Let's see what we are attacked by. We're gonna do a random generator. Alright, and this takes place in settled areas. Okay, there you go. So, we've got number appearing 1 to 4. Alright, 1 on each of you, pretty much. So at this time, Luber, you were trying your best to stay up. You're so freaking tired. It's 1 in the morning, when suddenly something takes an action against you before you can even do anything. So its action against you was hostile. It chose to immediately bite you, right? It had its legs wrapped around you, and then starts biting into you, right? Let's see if it can hit you. It has a high chance to hit. It's surprise attacking you. And surprisingly, you're able to fend it off just barely, it looks like. So despite its advantage, You have a decent amount of armor on, and it bites down on the back of your helmet, right? You feel its fangs puncturing into the back of your helmet, but it doesn't go deep enough or hard enough, and you're able to start to react at that point. So it's trying to bite down. As that was happening, your vulnerable companions were also approached by these things from the tall grasses. They immediately like start rushing out, and while they were sleeping, and start like grabbing on and pulling them into the fields, right? They're just grabbed on and pulled into the fields by these things, right? As one of them sees you're awake and tries to bite down on you but fails, right? So now you can react. Actually, everyone can react at this point. The others are asleep, so they might not be able to react quite yet. But first, it's I think Luber. No, Sunny. No, Luber was awake, right? Luber, you were the one
Yeah.
awake. So you're awake,
Yeah.
and you just got your helmet bit on, right? As soon as you feel the fangs biting down into your helmet, do you want to turn around and swing on this monster or something else?
Yes, with my hand axe.
Okay. And here's your initiative. 5. And here's its initiative. Close quarters combat. 1. Before it has another chance to bite down on you, you're able to push it back with one hand and swing your axe with the other, right? So, here comes your first attack. You do have fighting skill against monsters that are of lower hit dice, but this one is of higher hit dice than you. Alright, so it's a 1d20 for the attack roll. You scored a miss. You swing, you miss, right? It's able to just step back and then move right back in for a bite. And you're able to kick it back. Just barely. So, back and forth. Neither attacker manages to land a hit.
Grr.
Alright, next is Theo. Theo, for you. You feel some creature dragging you through the tall grass. It bit down on your clothing, perhaps your boots or something, and pulls you into the tall grass. And now that you're in the tall grass with it, it's holding you down with several of its legs while it shoots webs onto your legs, right? It's starting to spin you around. You start feeling your body spinning as it's webbing you up, right? How would you like to react, Theo? You want to stab at it with your dagger or something else? Or do you want to play dead?
Grab my dagger and try to stab it.
Yeah, you want to try to pull your dagger free?
Stab it with my dagger.
Okay. So you reach for your dagger as it's spinning you around, right? Trying to wrap you up with its webs. And your dagger's easily pulled, and you start to shiv it, and you're very close quarters with it, a very high chance to hit. And you're a thief, so I'm going to consider this a backstab. You're underneath it. You've got a huge advantage here. I'm going to say a +4 to hit. Very high chance to hit, almost impossible to hit unless you roll a nat 1. Impossible to miss, I mean. So, yeah, you're under this thing. You got a +4 for backstabbing. You got a +4 for, technically, you're kind of behind it, right? Or under it. It's like not even looking at you. It's busy just webbing you up. You're very close to it. You are under it, so that's a penalty. But overall, that's plus, at least a +8 bonus right there. And a -1 penalty for being under it. So, there's not a lot of space. It's also -1. Well, you don't need to see it because it's right on top of you. You can literally feel it. So, no vision penalties, really, I would say. You just got moonlight. So, for surely it's a +7 bonus now. Your strength bonus is +0. So, +7 is 12, and 12 is just enough to hit, I think. It's an arm class of 7. So, you just barely managed to hit. You almost missed, but you managed to land your dagger in there. And because you're a thief, you're doing a backstab. You get to deal double damage, right? So you feel this thing over you. You know, you quickly jab into what you think might be a weak point, right? And you drive your dagger in there. You spin it. You twist it. You try to deal as much damage as possible. Double damage. Total damage is 5 damage. Okay. So you got 5 damage into it. Let's see if it kills it. All right. It has a total of 9 hit points. So in our first combat, you got 9. You got 5 out of 9 in that one. Alright, we'll get a combat table going. Let's grab you guys some tokens. I know we have some tokens from earlier. Oh no, that's the old one. Alright. Let's grab some tokens real quick. Starting with Theo. When you see a token you like, let me know. Like tell me to stop and I'll grab it for you. I'll just scroll through this collection of tokens I've got.
Seems cool, but stop, and then stop right there, and then go down 2 and to the left 2.
Down to left to this one.
Yeah.
Alright, this is Theo, the thief. Alright, we're gonna grab one for Luber as well. Okay, Luber, tell me when to stop when you see the one you want.
Yeah, the one that was right next to Theo's, to the right.
This one, okay.
Yeah, somebody with a beard. Could be a dwarf, maybe. Looks more human, but anyway.
Alright, so that's Luber. And then Sonny, when you see one you want, let me know.
One with the hood.
This one?
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Yep, that's good.
Classic treasure hunter. Let's see. Alright. Actually, I think you can't use this one. Sorry. You're an elf. Elves can't grow facial here. So.
Yes.
You're gonna take, let's see. You want a hood? Let's go with...
If you want face light, just go ahead.
Alright. Let's grab you. Is this one alright?
Yeah, that's good. Yep.
Okay, this will be Sunny. Okay, so you all were just camping around your fire, of course, trying to stay warm in the middle of the night. When, of course, Luber, he was the one on watch, right? So he stayed at the campfire because they did not drag him off yet. He was sitting upright. They knew he was awake, but they dragged Theo off, right, at half speed, 10 feet away. Same with Sunny. They dragged Sunny off into the tall grass. Oh, about here. We've got ourselves a fire here in the middle. Okay. We've got spiders with us. We'll just use these ones here to represent them. Giant spiders. There's only 3 of them, fortunately. This one here is badly injured by Theo, who got stabbed. So it's at he got hit for 5 damage, so it's at 4 of 9 left. It's badly injured. Light. Okay. Alright, Luber, it's your turn. So while that was happening, it's back to you, and then it'll go to Sunny. So it's your second turn, right? Because you did not get surprised. Or you did get surprised, but you weren't as surprised as the other 2. You were on guard duty when this thing came up from behind you, grabbed on you, you swung at it once, you missed. It's trying to bite at you. It's still trying to bite at you. Do you want to just keep hacking at it with your axe or something else?
What else do I have?
If you look over your gear.
Yeah, so I'll probably can I grab my hammer and dual wield that with my hand axe?
You can, yep. 2-weapon fighting is a thing.
Yeah.
Alright.
So I'd like to do that and try and fend this
Alright,
creature
so
off.
for your offhand weapon, which is the hammer, do you want to block with it or do you want to attack with it?
Block. So I'll block with the hammer and attack with the axe.
Alright, sure. So I'll give you a bonus to armor class as you attack. This monster will attack you now. We're gonna roll initiative again for this next round. It's a 1v1. You got 3, it got 6. This time it bites you first. So you raise your weapons, preparing to defend yourself, right? You sort of parry at it with your offhand weapon. As you swing in with your axe, it bites at you, but you try to parry with your offhand weapon. And let's see if it hits. Unfortunately, it hits. It bites down on the same arm of your hammer. And the damage is gonna be, it's a giant spider. They deal 1d8 damage plus poison. So it bites down very hard. Its mandibles chomp down in your arm. It's 5 damage, right? A deep cut that would kill most men. It nearly severed your arm. Its mandibles wrap around your arm, your wrist, and it like starts tearing right through your flesh, right down to the bone, right?
My arm.
You also feel the poison starting to shoot down into your blood. You got a saving throw though, as a dwarf. You've got a high chance to fight the poison off, to not be poisoned, right? So, or affected by it. Here's the saving throw versus poison. Failed. So you will die from this poison in a matter of time. Now that you're poisoned, you'll be taking 1 damage per round, pretty much, until you die.
2 rounds to live.
So, liver, D1, poisoned. Alright, poison's streaming through your blood, alright, or running through your bloodstream right now. It's nearly severed your arm, and you go in for your counterattack, right? You had lost the initiative. Here's your counterattack. As it bit down on you, you swing your axe into it. Let's see if you can land a hit. And that's another miss, unfortunately. As it bites down, you're kind of staggered. You swing, but the pain, of course, forces you to kind of flinch, and you don't have the exertion that you wanted, right? The momentum after being bitten, nearly dropping your axe, right? That's quite unfortunate for our dwarven veteran Luber. Sunny, on the other hand, you were dragged away, and you can feel yourself being spun right now, right? It's like rolling you around as it shoots webs on your feet, right? Trying to web you up. As it's webbing you up, do you want to take an action? You're under it. It thinks you're asleep. It's just webbing you up. You want to play dead? Do you want to take an action or something else?
I try to position my spear so I can attack him from below.
Right, the spear is along your shoulder. It's pretty hard to use in close quarters, though. Do you have anything else you might want to try to use, or is the spear your only option? Yeah, alright.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Other than my hand.
Okay, so you'll try to get that spear in hand. So yeah.
Well, I guess that's pretty much all I got.
Yeah, it's all your only option. So as it rolls you around, right, you like grab on your spear and then try to jab upward into it. And here's your attempt. Right, because you're in close proximity, there is a penalty. It's hard to use the spear here. I'll say a -1 penalty using the spear this close. But then you've got I'll say a +4 bonus for being under it directly, or you're technically you're under it, so you got a -1. You get the low ground, but then technically it's exposed. A very weak spot is exposed to you as you're being spun around. You've got a really good chance to stab it. So overall, I'm gonna say -1 for being for having low ground, -1 or +4 for having a weak point open to you as it rolls you around. So you're at -3 now, or at +3, and then -1 again because you're being spun. You're like constantly moving, and -1 again because you've got a large weapon. So overall, you have a +1 bonus to hit, and then of course let's check if you have a strength bonus. Which Sunny, you don't have a strength bonus, so it's just overall a +1 to hit. You still have a pretty good chance to hit here, despite the position though. You still missed. All right, you got your spear in hand. As it spins you, you go in for a jab, but it just kind of glances against the carapace, right? Glances gently against the carapace or helplessly against the carapace, right? You weren't able to land a clean hit, right? You just skidded off the shell of the spider. Alright, back to Theo. Theo, you managed to get a good stab in it. The spider screeches in pain, realizing you're not asleep now. It's kind of backing off and preparing to bite you instead. As it does that, do you want to do it for another stab, or do you want to try to run, or something else? So it's getting off of you. It was over you, right? So it was literally on top of you because it was shooting webs around you, right? So because you stabbed it, it's about to back off, right? So it can bite you. As it does that though, you can definitely try to flee, or you can get ready to stab it again or something else. What would you like to do?
See if I can't try to stab it before it can
get
Go
off
for
of
an
you.
attack.
Alright. It's pretty risky. You have a chance to flee though. As it's backing off, you have a chance to flee, which means that, you know, you might escape the fight and live to fight another day. Or you could be brave, take the risk, right? And if you succeed, there's a great reward awaiting you. You really don't got much to lose though.
He was pretty greedy.
So do you want to go for the stab?
Yeah, I'm still gonna go for the stab.
Alright, we're gonna test the initiative
I'll
here.
do that.
So, see if it's faster than you at moving off, right? If it moves off of you first, then you won't have the bonuses, right? And it'll probably bite you too. Its initiative was 6, and your initiative was 3. So before you can take another stab, as you pull your dagger free, it already jumped off of you. As it jumped off of you, you were able to, if you want, move in for the stab or back off, right? So it moved first, it jumped off. As soon as it jumped off, do you still want to pursue the attack, or do you want to back off or something else?
I'm gonna back off from that.
You move in for the attack?
No, back off.
Back off. All right. So it jumped off of you. You back off, right? You like quickly start crawling back to the fire, dagger pointed toward it, right, ready to defend yourself. It's screeching. It's badly injured, right? More than half of it, or about half its hit points were lost in that single stab. Right. These things don't want to die. They also want to live. And you're their means to live because you're their prey, right? If they manage to get you, they'll be able to live longer. But they're not trying to die from you, right? So this guy's probably going to flee after it's been injured so badly. Luber was poisoned and bit. Luber, at the start of this round, you're going to be taking a taking a damage right now. You're at 1 hit point left. You feel yourself draining. The poison's burning so badly. Do you want to take another slash at this spider or something else?
Yeah, why not, man? Go down swinging.
Alright, our brave dwarven veteran swings again at the spider, who is taking advantage of him in his terrible state. Initiative, starting with Luber. 1. Starting with the next spider, it's 4. Before Luber can take another swing on the spider has first attack. Fortunately, it misses, right? Luber, you're able to, as it moves in, you parry with your hammer, right? And then you go in for your slash with your axe. You land a hit, and your damage is 1 to 6 damage. Strength bonus of +2. You're extremely strong. You have a +2 strength bonus. 8 damage total to the spider. Did you kill it? You killed him. He only had 5 hit points. You slash him dead,
I'll see you in hell.
and then you fall over with your final words. It's a 1 for 1. Alright. Our brave dwarven veteran dies from poison, right? Or bleeding out. Possibly, if you can get an antidote in time, the poison has taken him to 0 hit points. But technically, poison takes a long time, usually, to fully kill someone. So there's still a chance you can recover Luber. It would take a very powerful antidote, but his body is shutting down right now, right? Everything is starting to shut down from the poison. He did hit 0 hit points at the end of this round, or at the start of the next round. In the meantime, Sunny, back to you, right? You managed to pull your spear free. You glanced off of its carapace. It notices that you're awake, and it's probably going to start to bite on you, right? Do you want to try to crawl away? Do you want to keep trying to stab it, or something else?
I'll try to stab it again.
Alright, you try to be brave here. It's a very difficult situation you're in. It's going in for a bite as you're going in for a stab. Now, it was already on top of you and looks down on you. It tries to just, throw its jaws down into you as you try to lift your spear into it. We'll do initiative here. Technically, your spear should lose initiative automatically. It's too large, actually. So you lose initiative as a close quarters weapon. Before you can lift your spear up into its guts or into its underbelly, it has an initiative. It bites on you. You parry it. I'd say like it bit down on your helmet right there, right? So it jumps down on your head. It's just gnawing down on your helmet as you raise your spear into it. And your spear attack is a nat 20. Crazy. Alright. Spear is in 2 hands, so you get a +1 bonus to damage. Your strength bonus is 0. Okay. So we'll do double damage plus +2 because the strength bonus. I mean, not the strength bonus, the two-handed bonus. 2d6 plus 2 is your damage total. Damn. The bare minimum. Alright. So, only 4 damage. Okay. It has a total of 8 hit points. It's half hit points now. So you've badly injured it, right? It's already at half capacity. Okay. Nice, nice. So, survived its attack, stabbed him in the underbelly. Alright. Back to Theo. Theo, by the time you get back to the campfire, this spider is going to make a morale check. And it passes. Despite its injuries, it pursues you. It moves in for the attack. Right? Do you want to get ready to stab it or something else? Or do you want to run? Or what would you like to do as it charges you?
I'll try to like maybe fend off the attack or and then go for a stab if I can fend it off.
Sure. Yeah, so as it runs at you, do you want to start with a kick to keep it at a distance, or do you want to let it get close enough for a stab or something else?
I'll do this. When it's coming towards me, I'll kick it, and then after I kick it, I'll go try to stab it.
Sure. Yeah. So maybe you'll try to stun it first with the kick, and then you can go in for a stab. Alright.
Yeah.
So, moves in. We'll check the initiative. Its initiative is 1. Your initiative is 2. So before it can bite down on your foot that you're kicking at it with, you manage to kick into its face before that. And let's see if you can hit. And you're trying to stagger it. Or you're trying to stun it, right? So, intercept it. So you just got to deal enough damage. All right. So your kick was a miss, actually. Even though you kicked faster than it, then it could bite down on your foot. You kicked at it, but it backed off as soon as your foot came its way, and as soon as you finished your kick, or as you start to return your leg toward you, it goes in for a bite. It bites at the same foot, and it hit. So as you bring your leg back, it bites down like your ankle, right? And the damage is 3 damage to our poor thief, who only has 3 hit points. That's all your hit points. It's exactly at 0 hit points. So you're gonna get a saving throw versus death. If you get to exactly 0, there's a chance you actually survive. You're just dying instead of dead. Alright. So it turns out, let's see, is that a pass? It's a fail. Yeah. So, yeah, at 0 hit points, it means you're dying. If you fail a saving throw, it means that you're unconscious. If you pass it, you're conscious. But it is a pretty bad injury, and it basically ripped open your ankle. So you've got a severed ankle now. Right, sliced your ankle open. Status severed ankle, so you can barely walk. You're also getting a poison saving throw, because now your poison's being injected into you. You fail that, so you're also poisoned. So, severed ankle and poisoned. Alright, it's a bad situation for poor Theo, the thief, right? First day on the job. Took high risk for high reward, but it didn't pan out exactly how he thought. So we lost Theo there. He's gonna die, pretty much, certainly, right? And Sonny, you're the last guy. As Theo's taken down to the ground, this thing severed his ankle, poisoned him, and now it's probably gonna go in for the finish. Do you want to keep trying to stab at this thing on top of you, or something else? Mr. Sonny.
I have my spirit in it.
Yeah, your spirit's kind of in it. You want to keep jabbing away?
Yeah. I'll get my rage factor and like stand up and bend down and spirit better.
Alright, yeah, so you got your spear kind of caught in its underbelly. Do you want to try to get up, or do you want to try to push it away first?
Yeah, I'll push it away from. Yeah. You're right.
Okay, so you'll start with a force check. You've got contact with it with your spearhead. You're gonna try to do a force doors check, like push it further away so it can't attack. As it tries to bite at you. Initiative is first. Your initiative is 4. its initiative is 3. Before it can go down for another bite, you're able to force it back, possibly. You already have contact, but just gotta have force, enough force to throw it back. Success. Alright, you need a 1 or a 2 to succeed, and you manage to push it off of you with your spear. Alright, so it's pushed off, you're able to get right back up with your spear in hand as it moves in. I'm gonna roll to see if it chooses to pursue the attack. Its morale passes, so it's moving in for the attack, and same with this one. Alright, so you're surrounded. Do you still want to stab at this guy, or do you want to begin fleeing or something else? It's a very grim situation you're in.
Is there any to the right? That one's dead.
That one's dead, fortunately, but you got this guy behind you. You got this guy in front of you.
I want to try to step closer to the fire.
Right.
But, like, diagonally.
So you move toward the fire, right, diagonally, northeast, I suppose, right? As you do that, this guy's moving in to intercept you. This guy too. And before he can close, this guy crashes into you. Do you want to stab him before he crashes into you?
Yeah, stab him.
Alright, you stabbed at him. You landed a hit. Let's see if it's a kill. 1 damage. Alright, you at least intercepted him. Before he can close in, you stabbed him, so he couldn't push forward, right? He got stabbed. You can try again, but you'll have another chance to stab him, right? So you stab him, intercept him, but as you intercepted that guy, this guy moved on your back, right? So you injured this one. He's at 3 now, but this guy jumps on your back and attacks you. And he has a bonus to hit you and hits, right? He's +4 because he's attacking from behind you. And he lands a hit for a total of 2 damage to our Sunny, dropping you to 4 of 6 hit points. So you're bit in the back of your ass cheek pretty much. He bites down. You have 4 out of 6 hit points left. And you got a saving throw versus poison as well. Let's see if you can pass. Fail. You're poisoned. Sunny, you feel the poison rushing through your blood, right? From the puncture wound on your buttocks, right? It's tearing into your butt as this one is stabbed. If you want from this point on, you can keep stabbing, fight to the very end, or something else.
Is the one still on my back?
Yeah, you kept this guy at bay for now. He's gonna try to move in again, right?
But the one that attacked me, is it on my back still?
Yeah, it's on your back. It's chewing into your ass. It's got its fangs.
I want to step closer to the fire and like fall backwards onto it.
Alright, you want to turn around, right? Like spin around and put your back to the fire.
Yeah.
Alright, you try to turn around as this guy's chewing into your butt. We'll roll initiative here. Them versus you. This is them. They act together at 6. This is you at 3. So before you can fully turn around, right, you kind of like turn your back toward the fire. But while you're turning your back to the fire, this guy jumps at you. This guy continues chewing into you. They both get their attacks in. And they both hit. And that is it for our Sunny, most likely. The damage is too high. It's 4 damage, exactly what they needed to take you to 0. But with all the poison damage included, that's the end of Sunny, right? Poison goes through your blood. This guy comes in, tears off your hand. This guy ends up tearing a good chunk of your calf apart. And with that, they secure their prey, right? The story ends. It's a bad ending, right? Thank you for playing, gentlemen. Sorry you lost tonight. Death is the only way to lose D&D. It was a pretty scary and impressive experience, I suppose. You guys had some good chemistry, or like, you know, good dynamic, team dynamics. Just we got unlucky and encountered some pretty powerful monsters that night. So yep, that is it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Hope you guys enjoyed.
Thanks very much, Jim. Thanks, lads. Great
Thanks
game.
for playing, guys. GG's. Until next weekend. Have a good night.